Claims data coming out here any moment. We are expecting 235,000. The forecast, that's the consensus forecast, 245,000. Comes in lower than expected there. 227 versus last week's 232,000. 1.965 million on the continuing claims versus a prior 1.95 million. So a slight uptick on both sides of the equation. Jobless claims, 4-week average, 235,000 versus 241,000 expected. Fed's Muslim coming up at 10 o'clock today. We'll also get some natural gas energy data as it is Thursday, always at 10:30. Not a significant reaction to that number, but good to see it heading in the right direction. Yeah, we'll talk about this coming up here. There's a lot of little ones moving around this morning. I mean, that's not necessarily a little one, but not a lot of people have maybe heard of MP. We'll tell you why that's moving. Coming up, Delta, the big one today, huge earnings beats right across the board. Looks good for Delta at day highs as we get going here so far this morning. Tesla also back on watch here, gapping to the upside ever so slightly. I mean, it's been chopping around, but Grok coming to your Tesla's dashboard.
That's cool, man.
Very soon, according to Elon.
Apparently, might be as early as next week. I'm all for game for this, Brendo. I mean, obviously, I've been kind of doing that already in the car, using ChatGPT to kind of ask questions, hands-free. So if that's included in the car, all the better. Lots to talk about today, guys. Yes, Bitcoin, new all-time high yesterday, 112,000. But IBIT starting the day off a little red, and then obviously Nvidia with the $4 trillion market cap yesterday. Brendo, you mentioned Delta, but the real story here is OpenAI taking a shot across the bow at Google with this AI browser. And I was telling Neil off camera, it's going to fill out forms for you. It's going to be able to do all this agentic AI stuff that we've been talking about, all in-house.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. I think it was only a matter of time. I mean, there'll be multiple ones. I think when all is said and done, it's not going to be just OpenAI. But yeah, it was only a matter of time. Speaking of, you just mentioned Nvidia. Here it is right now, just pulling back from highs once again. So 164.50, yeah, 4 trillion, just unbelievable. As of yesterday, Amazon, I don't know, have you been perusing Prime Day at all? I took a look a little bit yesterday. No, I mean, I feel like it's losing its significance.
I tell you, if I'm not looking for something specific, I'm not motivated. If I've got something on the radar, Brendo, then I'm hunting, but I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 35% kind of across the board. Like, so not bad, but anyway, we'll have a look at Amazon too, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. I know, here's the thing. I will buy some. I know I'm buying something. It's just a matter of taking. I just haven't had a good look at the Prime Day offerings just yet. And usually, like, I always get around to it. And I look. People say it's overwhelming, underwhelming. It's the same thing as always, but I don't know. I tend to always buy something, so, or at least a couple of things, because that's how it rolls. But we always do anyway, so it's not. I don't know how big of a deal it is if you're a big time user. MP. Like, we were just talking about how that stock was coming into like right in the afternoon show. We were talking about, oh yeah, MP looks really good pulling back into prior highs. Like, this could be something. Like, want to buy it into the 50-period moving average. And then they get then boom, DoD news, and you're up 50%, 25% short float. It's already running, going to be wild. I can't say that I've ever really looked at this as a day trading stock. So, I mean, its spread seems like 10 cents right now. I don't know. So it could be pretty volatile. It looks like something that could be a halt candidate if it starts moving around too much. But eyes will be on this. Of course, everything in the crypto space. After that run to the all-time high there on IBIT. Nvidia, obviously big. Even AMD catching an upgrade today. There's a lot of positivity. Like, you can look at almost everything in crypto, but that rally yesterday in the afternoon was quite impressive, let's just say. You're going to have to hunker down. It's actually a very busy watch list because there's a lot of individual catalysts, which is good because that's the way the market's been like the last couple of days. Like, the overall market hasn't really moved much. Like, you want individual stocks doing their own thing.
Well, the market, I don't know, the market's moved quite nicely in the last couple of days, as we were saying there. And I was saying to Neil today, like, what's going to even stop this market? Looks like today we finally come in as a flat sort of look right here. But yeah, I haven't done any shopping on Amazon Prime or anything. But we still continue to get packages every day, but like nothing special about that. So yeah, welcome everybody. Whoa, I want to look at it like that. It's Thursday, so we don't have too much going on. I was looking at the economic calendar here today. Initial jobless claims just came out a little bit under, so that was good for the market, but didn't really do anything there. 9 o'clock, we have some Fed through 1 and 2 Fed. So it's, it's not too much going on over there. But Tesla, again, Amazon, all the same kind of use, stocks that we always talk about, same use cases every day. We'll watch out for 300 here. Looks like Tesla up that 1%. Yeah, AMD, what a great day today for AMD and Nvidia. They're both everything, man. Broadcom, everything's going. There goes AMD again. I mean, Nvidia's at 165 or so right now, which is absolutely unreal. So that name keeps on going to the high side again, like just boom, boom. You can't get enough of this name. Google was interesting with the search engine story there yesterday. We can have a quick look at that as well. But yeah, the next favorite, Broadcom. We hit Microsoft yesterday, breaking through 500. I mean, and Broadcom's just doing this as well. Just there was the breakout yesterday, 277, 277.50 up to 280 right now. So that's starting to tick higher here today as well. So it's just like as we go, man. It's like things just moving around. So it's been pretty good for sure. Some of the lower float names, not lower float names, but some of the names that I've been looking at recently, Big Bear AI still hovering around that $7 mark. I'm not really going to be looking at this until we get to 8, but 7 could hold. So we'll look at Big Bear AI today as well. But Delta with earnings, which is nice to see that come through. Kellogg brand as well gets that bid. So that's KLG coming through. We thought that no one wanted these kind of companies anymore, but apparently they do. Been really beat up, right? But now making that move back to the upside right there, like just 21 down to 15. Bottoms out right there, but Kellogg getting that done over
Your
there.
paisans want to pick it up.
They do, yeah. Ferrero Rocher Nutella.
I love Ferrero Rocher.
Company, yeah, they're one of the best. That's the best part. One of the best parts about the holiday season. If you're gonna have little treats, have those Ferrero Rochers for sure. So, okay, man.
Now I just want chocolate.
Really chilling out. I always have my green drink. I'm almost done it here today.
Ooh.
Oh, s'il vous plaît for everybody. Shout out to everybody
S'il vous plaît,
Brampton and/or there's a big, huge one on the Queensway right now.
I haven't been to that. I haven't been that.
I think you spent like $200 or something. You got one of these bottles, so I got one of these.
It's been a while.
A couple whiles ago.
Since I've rocked to that joint. But the shake is a good look. You got to get powered up for sure. It's matcha, right? What do you got in there?
No, this is greens. This is just like athletic greens.
Oh, so it's like
it's like about a million different vitamins.
Is it one of the mixed ones you buy?
Yeah. It's just, I can look it up, but whatever it is.
I know sometimes
Sean has a hangover. That's hilarious. No, man, I'm just chilling.
Randy.
Oh, thanks, Randy.
Thanks, brother.
What's going on, Randy? Yeah, no drinking, man. This guy, I don't drink, really. I mean, if we go out and we do something like we said the other day. Should have gone to that Weird Al Yankovic concert. We went to a great ice cream place, Tom's Dairy Freeze. Anybody that knows anything about, Queens, I just have to look over at Joe. He knows all about it. It's a classic. Lineups are absolutely insane. Yeah, on the Queensway, it's amazing. It's cash only place. It's huge. It's like a staple in Etobicoke. So took the wife on yet again another date, a dessert date.
That too.
Yeah, man. It was raining off and on, though, yesterday, so.
It cools it off. I liked it.
Yeah.
We needed the rain, and lawn needed the rain, that kind of stuff. It's always good. I wasn't complaining whatsoever. We were like picking like blueberries out of our garden.
Yeah, same as
and
us.
and you start to get a little bit of rain. I'm like, okay.
Oh, we don't.
Because when it's nice and it's warm,
Yeah.
and it starts like light raining, you just don't care because it's almost refreshing. I'm like. As long as it doesn't get heavier. That being said, I don't want rain tonight because we got to get practice in. And there's a few, even if it's light, there's some people that will not show up if there's even a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
So you want to get a good turnout at baseball practice, and if there's even a hint of it, not much. Before we go back to the desk, there's one thing I wanted to point. It's only because it's weird to me, and I was trying to come up with my reasoning for this, and. If you looked at what was going on in the chip space yesterday, there was a lot of strength. ARM, on the other hand, this name, like it pulled back and it stayed pulled back. Like it was a morning rally, just like everything else, made the turn, and then that was pretty much it. And I don't wonder if, at the same moment, like it's interesting, like it makes sense to me that when Apple shot down, ARM would head to the downside as well. Obviously, ARM, it's all about devices for them. But when you got the big rally, ARM stayed to the downside. So I'm not sitting here saying I want to be short ARM. I know in my long-term I did sell some because it got to that 165. I'm contemplating whether or not this is one that I want to sell a little bit more of. But I didn't hear any news on it. It was just a bit of a weird price action for weakness. And if the chips do pull back, if let's say longs that I'm going to be looking for in AMD and Nvidia are bad and the chips trend down, this is probably where I end up pivoting to, just because of that weird weakness yesterday. Didn't make any sense, but it happened.
ARM's down quite, even AMD's. Like some of these daily charts on these stocks, like I was just looking at AMD, like today it's going to make it back a little bit, but that was not great. Like you have other stocks obviously busting through the tops, AMD, but it's nice to see today. We'll see 147, 148.
It's up 3% today.
Yeah, it's not going to, well, I don't know, 3% seems a lot on an upgrade, so I don't know. It's going to be a good one here. We're ready to go. Thanks, Randy, for the coffee, and we're all here. The gang's all here. We got Joe. I only have 2 more days, and I have like a week and a half off, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, North Bay, then Boston, then hang out more here, figure out what's going on. All right, 143 AMD. It's gonna keep going. All right, let's go back over to the desk. We have our guest of the day. Not ready yet, but soon.
All right, first off, let's talk about Palantir. If you missed it yesterday, Dan Ives with opinions on Tesla, first of all, on Twitter, talking about what he thinks, anyways, that the board of directors should take 3 steps to change things, I guess, in a positive way, to which Elon had a very short response. Shut up, Dan. Fantastic. Anyways, Dan Ives back at it this morning talking about Palantir this time. A big move yesterday for PLTR. Thanks. There we go. Seeing a 12% possible surge from this point in Palantir, so still potential upside to come.
Yeah, and boosting the price target, Brendo, from 140 to 160, likes the AI strategy, obviously, that we've been talking a lot about lately. I was listening to an interesting podcast on the weekend, and the idea here posited by the individual on the podcast is the AIP system finds its way into your business. So you're not building your business around it. So it goes in, it understands how you're doing everything logistically, how the finances are working, and then it tells you how best it can incorporate itself. And we've seen so many times they talk about these workshops that they're doing for their AIP, and that's exactly what they're doing, Brett. Yeah. They're showing people exactly how it works and how it can actually build their system. So, and a lot, anecdotally as well, apparently like half of Wall Street is short Palantir, and they're all getting blown out. CoreWeave as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday, and I mean, it's still a relatively small percentage of the overall shares, but it would be hilarious if Alex Karp went on Twitter and just said the same thing.
Oh, he's got no filter.
Over and over again to our friend Dan Ives. Palantir, guys, back to session highs here right now.
Karp is not going to be telling him to shut up.
He doesn't care.
Not that. It's an upgrade. It's 12%. The only thing would be shut up. It's going to $200. Like that. The 12% thing is not. That's just going to be average day. That's okay. My put Palantir. There it is, right there. So it's actually not even doing anything today. But it's not even a short float on this stock. So I didn't hear that about Wall Street.
What is it?
Short
2%,
on Palantir, but it's 2.5% right there.
Right.
So if they're short if they're short over there, then they're going to be scrambling to cover. So I definitely like that as a stock. But nice move there for Palantir. I mean, you would think it would be up more on that Dan Ives comment, giving it that upgrade, right? So we'll wait for it. Yeah, Alex Karp just continues to be pretty impressive. But the thing is, with a market cap right now at Palantir of almost $400 billion, the PE 600. It's a big like hope that they mature into their valuation. I mean, looking at taking out that top there for PLTR. Again, love the stock. Haven't really sold any of this thing in a heck of a long time, and want to just keep on riding the momentum to the high side. You know, Nvidia went from like 1 trillion to 2 trillion in like 200 days, then 2 trillion to 3 trillion in like 100 days, and then 3 trillion to 4 trillion in another 200 days. You know, these stocks can really get going once they're in the right sectors and they start to put up, and you know, then people start to chase the price, right? I mean, we can even ask in the chat like how many people are long Palantir. It's the #1 stock in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq year to date. So you know, Palantir continues to work and up only 0.5. I think there's more room to run. So this might be a name that I add here to the sticky note at some point today.
Yeah, the thing about Palantir is, I've noticed this before, Like, there's just some mornings where somebody hits the sell key, but once that ends, it's just go time on Palantir. And that was a little bit late yesterday to taking longs in Palantir, like waited till it was actually breaking above 140. But I think you sort of observe. Remember, they got that nice trend that we're talking about on the daily chart? Well, I mean, if that trend happens and works, then obviously, I don't know what happened. I thought, didn't I save this yesterday and I had both of the trend lines? I swear I had the bottom and the top. But anyways, yeah, I don't see why you're not just doing what it's been doing since the beginning of May, which is holding this distinct trend. It just bounced clean off it. There hasn't been a red day since the bounce, so like maybe it does some kind of like pullback at some point. But I just think you're headed up to 150 at this point, and if it bounces down from there, you just keep playing this trend bounce. Worked really well. So when it does a consolidation day, you kind of play off that consolidation. I'm not surprised. It didn't make my note today because I feel like it could be a consolidation day, but if we get one of these hammer candles down or trend down, I think you just let it make a turn for a trend break, or you just let it make a double top bottom or something. Just look for some kind of a technical setup after that morning sell-off. It just seems to be so gold, no matter how heavy that candle is. I think we are ready. Let's go up to the desk. We've got our guest this morning.
Yeah, Andy Lindoff joining us from Trade Ideas with a good topic this morning to discuss in a market where, Andy, good to see you, first of all. In a market where we're not tremendously volatile, there's headlines to deal with on a daily basis, but for the most part, things have been a bit of a grind, and you want to talk about trading around a core position or sizing in, sizing out, getting a little bit bigger when the move comes, and then taking some off as we get into the money. So I think it's a concept that's a little more advanced, but for anyone who is used to the idea of swing trading, something that we can bring down to the day trading level.
You hit the nail on there, Brendan. And good morning. Yeah, it's being a day trader for time that I spent, I think 15 years being a day trader, I kind of got tied into that short time frame. So what I did when I switched over to swing trading, I developed a style where we're basically trading around a core position, and it's a concept where you take size, and what you're doing, you're not allowed, like a normal swing trade, you're basically taking a position, and maybe you're saying I'm looking for a 10% upside with a risk of 3%. And what you're going to find out if we move on over to the next slides, I would have this. These are the frustrations when it comes to swing trading. All right, your stocks don't go up in a straight line. Obviously, it ebbs and flows. It pulls back. The pullback sometimes can be very painful. And really, if you're a pure swing trader, those winning positions can turn into a flat or even a losing positions if you're not taking any profits. And it requires a lot of patience to be, a pure swing trader. So what I developed, and it's several years ago, and it works very well for me. And I think a lot of people who day trade should think about this style, because it's almost like a hybrid. I like to call it sway trading. But what you do is you identify a setup, okay, and you take a full position, when your trigger price hits. Now, what you're looking for is a technical area, whether it be a moving average, whether it be a support resistance, to basically sell 50 to 75% of that position, because you're going to maintain that 25 to 50% position. So you're going to stay in the trade a lot longer. And here's a great example in Apple, and this is actually one of my trades, and the one I actually added to yesterday. So I'm just using the number 100 shares for simplicity, but let's say you buy 100 shares of Apple there on the breakout, and you basically get, a 10-point move in that thing. All right. So instead of just riding it out saying, well, I'm going to stop if it comes back to a flat, this is where I like to sell a portion, maybe, like I said, 50 to 75%. And then what I'm doing, and I did yesterday, is I'm looking to buy back into it at a critical level, like Apple hit that 10-period moving average yesterday. So it's a great concept, and these are the pros. I mean, you're less emotional on pullbacks because you're banging out some profits. Just like in that example for Apple, if you bought 100 shares, you're banging out $750. Now you can breathe easy. You have a small core position, and then you can look to add. So you're locking in profits. And really, I end up making a lot more profits with this style than I do just doing pure swing trades. And not only that, it frees up a lot of buying power. So these are the cons. Okay, there are some cons. All right, you need to have an eye on the price action. All right, you cannot be, having a regular job and doing this. You basically need to be a trader, or at least, have an eye on the market to where you can put in price alerts and things like that, so you can take these profits and buy these pullbacks. And it does require more focus than a just normal swing trading. And moving on to these before we end up, some stocks to watch. These are stocks that I'm in. I'm actually looking to add, and looking at Apple, Amazon, and I think I have a chart of each of these, and I can kind of show you. So there's Apple. So I do like Apple, and like I said, I added some yesterday, and looking to maybe add if it takes out that 2-day high. This is setting up nicely. And Amazon has just been flirting. I've been in this for a very long time. I've been doing some core trading around this one, but looking for that breakout there above that 2-week high. I think that'd be a nice little breakout in Amazon. And then of course Intel. I know a lot of people are skeptical still on Intel. I believe they have bottomed, and it was kind of a nice constructive bottom over the last 2 months, kind of a wedge pattern that it broken out of. So I think Intel above that 2-day high there could be a nice little move for that as well.
One of the hesitations around this concept, specifically on a day trading time frame, Andy, is the simple fact that when you do take a portion, if it's 75% or even 50% of the position out, your average price is obviously going to move significantly higher if it is a long trade because of the first in, first out principle. For anyone who is a little bit hesitant because of that, how do you trail? How tight do you trail your stop in that case?
Well, the thing about it is it makes it a little bit easier when you banged out some nice profits. Just like in that example I gave in Apple, I took off a big chunk at that resistance level. So now I got some profits. So now, what could have been me getting out in a regular swing trade for a flat, now I got a little breathing room. Maybe I can give it 2 or 3% to the downside. And remember, it's the whole key is you're taking profits and then you're adding back in slowly. Okay, I don't jump into a full position on those pullbacks. Okay, so what may have been a 100% position and now a 50% position. So if it does come down to my range and I do get out of that last bit for a flat, I've still had some nice profits, and it wasn't an overall flat trade, and it was I still made some nice profits. So
great. Yeah, great stuff. It's as we were saying, it's something that a lot of people do around the swing trading idea. From a day trading perspective, if you find yourself in one of those positions where it's a trending type of day and the market just wants to go and go and go, fantastic,
Right.
A fantastic concept. Andy Lindoff over at Trade Ideas. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks you, Brendan. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
Only 15 years day trading. Come on, man. I mean, got at least 7 on that guy now, so that's not too bad. So shout out to Andy.
You're 23. I'm 22.
Yeah,
not old,
yeah.
not age.
No. Yeah. So what's up? What's up now, Andy?
Man,
no, thanks for all those advices there.
You know what it comes down to? It's really just no one ever went broke taking profit, and if something is trending, take advantage of the trend. Like that's the way I look at it. Like look at only because we were last talking about it, Palantir yesterday. Like it was just break, pull back, make a higher low, break, pull back, make a higher low. It just did it over and over again. So yeah, you can always extrapolate that idea. Like charts and all that stuff is fractal, right? And when I say fractal, multiple time frames are going to have similar patterns, like a daily chart, 15-minute. Down to like a 3-minute, that kind of a thing. Also, Tesla just broke 300 on, not that much volume. It's pre-market, but a decent volume spike there on Tesla, getting it through the $300 level. I didn't really hear anything outside of what we were looking at already with the announcements from Musk had a couple of really good points that he was talking about today, which we've already discussed. So I didn't hear anything new. But we are starting to make a bit of a move here on Tesla, and I'm starting to see some volume pick up. But nothing new that I'm aware of, and I keep looking over at X in the news service to see if we find anything new. But yeah, nice little bounce there on Tesla. Do keep in mind, let's go right back over here. Tesla, this 300 level on Tesla, yesterday resistance, it was a breakout 2 days ago that was great, and then it was a breakdown that was great at 300. But then yesterday it failed this breakout, and you've got 305 resistance up top. So 300, 305, obviously very significant levels. Probably something hit the wire there, but we still haven't seen it yet.
I appreciate you here, GF Franco MV. You still can't believe that I'm 58, eh? Okay, well, yeah, I'm only 45, but yeah, 23, 24 years of day trading experience for a 45-year-old. So that's why I look potentially much older than 45, you know, losing hair, losing everything, and losing my voice every day here as well. But thank you for all of that. Yeah, great points there by Andy, man. Another great guest. Just bringing all of his experience, and I like that he talked about, and that's why I was just joking about that day trading 15 years, you know, sort of morphing in different strategies. I think that that's super important to do, right? I mean, I try to show every day, you know, that I'll trade small caps, large caps, penny stocks, all these kind of things, play different plays, breakout trades. Some of the best trades this week have been breakout trades like Big Bear AI, Microsoft breaking through $500 yesterday. And then also, you know, also trying to play support and resistance on a name like CoreWeave, where we were short that 162 and brought that all the way down in. So, you know, just trying to prove the worth here every single day. We want to thank Andy for coming through again. Adair at the screen with upgrades and downgrades.
Some pretty heavy hitters today, especially in the upgrade side of things, starting with AMD, one of many semiconductor names to the upside this morning, and getting an upgrade from HSBC to boot with a hefty $200 price target. McDonald's here. Goldman Sachs seems to be loving this name with a $345 price target. Oracle really strong as of late and getting an upgrade here from Piper Sandler, and Roku with a Key Corp upgrade. Downgrade side of things, Mirio Biopharma down 30% and getting a downgrade from Needham. Goldman Sachs downgrading Cheesecake Factory today. We have TKO with a downgrade from North Coast, and last but not least, Scotiabank downgrading TFI International. What do you guys think?
I think Oracle looks really good. I mean,
Oracle's a great stock.
It's a great stock, but it's one of those, like, you can't call a double up quiet. But in this particular case, I think maybe you could make the argument that Oracle's move has been, I don't know, maybe not given enough credit. Whether or not it makes another run at the fresh highs, I guess technically speaking on Monday, you had a press into 241.45. So I mean, technically, you know, it did break out the 240 and then failed it. On Monday. That said, you know, once it breaks 240 in a real sense, it hasn't closed above that price. So I think, you know, 240 is still going to be a big one for it. There's so many good things to be looking at here today. There's almost no way to get this one onto the list. But yeah, this is a stock that's done absolutely fantastic. We'll definitely talk about AMD and the chips, but man, give Oracle some due. What a rally. Yeah, if you have any shares in this one, it puts a smile on your face, but you know, if you haven't bought any recently, it doesn't really matter that much. But what a stock.
Well, then I have to smile because we talked about Oracle for a long time down there at 110. So I think I'm long, even potentially lower than that. I'm really trying to look at Tesla here, trying to go higher and higher. As far as those upgrades and downgrades, man, I mean, I haven't really looked at TKO, but I know for WWE, I think that this is one of those things where you just want to buy on these kind of dips, and it's not even really dipping that much. We'll wait to see what happens there with TKO, just taking out all-time highs a couple days ago, up to 185 and now dropping back in. You know, when companies take out all-time highs, you generally do get a pullback. And this one is now 3 or 4 days. So I think coming back in here to 166 or so for TKO looks like it's fine. You know, you could have had that double top syndrome here, so we'll see what winds up happening. It's really great if it comes back into here, then breaks 180, and we get back up to the upside there. So that was an interesting one there. And I also saw Roku on there as well as an upgrade, so $91. This name's pretty volatile. Not much volume, 40,000 shares, but up again. Now they're 2% and a bit. Let me look at the chart for Roku. You know, boom. Like this is a double up there from April as well. So $52, well, not almost, up to 92. So we got a little bit of ways to go, but it's up about 80% or so from there. So we'll look to see if Roku wants to get going there. But yeah, a couple interesting names there on the upgrades and downgrade side. Energy didn't have a great day yesterday. ExxonMobil, it's still 113 and change. Chevron's a good look as well. But yesterday was a good day for ExxonMobil. I said the other way. Energy was good yesterday. ExxonMobil looking to break through as well. Nice little bounce off of 108 there for ExxonMobil. Lots of names coming into play, man. I mean, that CoreWeave the other day at 160 was a great short. You're down back into 152 again, so we could watch out for CoreWeave getting a little weaker here off of those tops. CoreWeave eventually will bust through this 130 and be a great short, and then Circle gets the square again here because Circle's up to 205. We'll look to see if that can break through 200, but up another 3%. So some of these names continue to work despite being having some pullbacks. We'll look for Circle today. You know, crypto very popular. As we talk about, and we'll get to crypto on the rundown. It's 9 o'clock right now, but yeah, Bitcoin up to 111 yesterday, really on nothing, got to 112, a little bit of a pullback. So now we're at 111, sorry. We'll see there it is right there. We'll see what happens with BTC today. This is the daily chart here. We can go over, let's just go over quickly and then we'll throw it back to the desk. Here's a 15-minute chart. So we did get as high as that. Basically, there's the brand new all-time high again right now, 112, 170. So 112, 150, well, let's call it that. Right there, nice high. I mean, I could probably set this to show me exactly what Coinbase got to yesterday, but then it bounced around and looky, what we see right here, we're trying to hold 111 again. So Bitcoin could be due for a pullback if indeed that winds up happening today. Look for it to break through basically where we are right now. 110,750 right there was what was held. We'll see if it can hold again. You do have the 200 period moving average at 110. So I think you could fall down a little bit there on Bitcoin, which we'll look at IBIT, but we have it up right now. Yeah. Nvidia 4 trillion and going higher and higher. Nvidia was one of the better trades of the week earlier on, and then yesterday it just kept on going, so we were able to get it. Microsoft, we were long 500 yesterday. We'll look at something similar to that today. Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla, Big Bear AI.
MP's now up 60%.
Yeah.
The shorts got oh my goodness, the shorts got destroyed overnight on this 25% short float, and it had been working. So that's one of those like blowouts that they probably didn't see it coming. Let's go back up to the desk, get into the watch list, which you know what's on it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, 63.07. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract. So we reclaimed that 6,300 point area, but we're still kind of tapping out here in the mid-teens. So 63.12 is the overnight high. We're going to continue to use 6,300 as our support level until we give it up. If we do give it up, we're looking at that 62.75 area as support. If we continue to hold 6,300, we're going to look to that 50-point area as resistance.
As always, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video. Top link in the description will get you to that page to sign up for the watch list. Super easy. All you need is your email address. We send you everything you need to know in the pre-market every day for free. Let's start with the obvious here. Nvidia, as the guys were saying, continuing here. A little bit of a pullback right now off 164.50, but I mean, this is one of many. Goldman with their opinions today. I mean, they're a little late to the party, I think, but everybody jumping on the bandwagon. 4 trillion. What do you guys say?
A couple of years late there. But, all right, let's talk about this. So Nvidia briefly topping yesterday, anyway, $4 trillion market cap, reclaiming it this morning. The first company ever to hit that market, reclaims the crown as the largest publicly traded company globally, surpassing previous leaders like Microsoft and Apple. It's up 21% year to date as of yesterday's close, Brendo, but it's up 171% in 2024 on top of the 239% that it was up in 2023. With respect to how the Wall Street feels about this, 58 of 65 analysts have it rated as a buy or strong buy as per LSEG. And about the valuation here, it seems reasonable because they're forecasting about 50% of earnings growth over the next 12 months. Nvidia trades, Brendo, at a 33 times forward earnings, which is seen as an attractive look by the street.
Only 33.
Only 30.
What are you going to do? Goldman's still thinking $20 more to the upside, guys, for Nvidia.
Yeah, it's a matter of what time frame do we look at that $20? Like who didn't believe it was going from 3 to 4 trillion at some point? It didn't quite get there as fast as as you're mentioning the 2 to 4. We took a calendar year. It was June last year. I think it got to 3. So. But all systems go for them. You got Jensen making sure that China can still get the the dumbed down Blackwell chip, and that's a big deal because everybody wants it, and they just continue to win. So look, obviously it's not really gapped and doing anything crazy here today. Probably has something to do with $165, likely having a little bit of interest in it and probably some selling in that range. So I always look back to, well, what was happening and where are the levels of consolidation? It seems like an obvious support level. Like, look at what was, like, after that initial rally, it bounced clean twice. I mean, really, like a bunch of times in the afternoon, but call it twice, 162.5. I mean, just as clear as day. And then you had resistance over top at 163.5. So prior resistance is there and prior support's there. So I just like the 163 area, but the explanation is we dip anywhere near. We're at VWAP now, so you know, either it's breaking 165 out, or it's, to me, I think we get a chance to get that little bit of a dip buy first. But I mean, obviously 65 could happen. And we don't get a dip buy into this range. But some weird things happening, and clearly a support area that got formed for a long time, for most of the day. I think it gets down there, that's where you pull the trigger.
So do you think it's $5 trillion a year from today?
A year from today, $5 trillion. Yeah.
So do you think it's 25% up in a year?
In a year? In a year, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you had told, yeah, I mean, if you had given something like, if you'd said like by the end of the year, I think I probably wouldn't have been able to say yes, but yeah, give it calendar year, yeah.
Yeah, good. All right, so for me, for Nvidia, I'm doing the sticky note right now, and you know, it's not really moving here in the pre-market. It's moved up already. I mean, the day's already long, so we'll wait. But the Nasdaq's not doing too much here, so I think that this could actually be due for a little bit of a pullback, maybe a cooling down period as we look at other chip names like a Broadcom, which there's news, you know, surrounding potential Nancy Pelosi, more buying of Broadcom. So there goes Broadcom to the upside. I could just see other names trading a little bit better than Nvidia today, including AMD. And you know, yesterday I was saying AMD is not Nvidia. I'm just playing around. It's not Nvidia, but you know, obviously the space, rising tides lift all ships, and right now AMD really catching it as well. So we'll talk about the AMD upgrade, but for me, I'm just going to do what I've always do, man. Look for support and resistance, and I wrote down 163.25 or so. Yesterday's closing price in and around here, 163. So I just bumped it up a little bit and said 163.25, potentially looking for dip buy into that. There's the support. The resistance yesterday, hopefully turning into support right there. So yeah, you know, again, I like the name. There's that 163 quarters. So if we pull back into there, I think it's a buy. And then you really just wait for this 162.50, and if that eventually breaks, and I think it's a hell of a short all the way back down into here. So, but the market has to break a little bit, right? So again, really like Nvidia. If it's on my note, it'll probably be traded, and it's going to be on there and just releasing it in just a couple of seconds. So I really like Nvidia, up 1% today. Probably my largest holding, you know, this or Amazon right now. So, you know, really love this stock, man. What's up to my guy Jim Cramer's made so much money on this Nvidia call and made so many people so much money just by holding on to this. I think it is one of those, as he says, hold, don't trade Nvidia in your long-term portfolio. This is going to be the best stock over the next however many years you want to say. So really like Nvidia right here.
The CEO. All right, Delta here. I was just noticing AAL on the way back in here. This one also popped up on these earnings this morning, but let's talk about the one that actually reported. Trying to hold on to $57 here. Just an absolute blowout report here for Delta.
Yeah, it's a fantastic look, Brendo. They did kind of slash their full year 2025 EPS guidance down to about 525 to 625. That's down from 735 plus the forecast in January, but we know that they pulled their guidance because of tariffs and demand. So CEO Ed Bastian cited the softer consumer demand and a glut of capacity though bookings, have stabilized. The airline sector broadly, though, is kind of under pressure with rivals pulling guidance and reducing flight schedules. Now, with summer travel still strong, they're guiding their Q3 outlook. They're calling for about $1.25 to $1.75 EPS, well above that midpoint of $1.31 the street was looking for. Revenue expected to be flat, though, to about 4%, but again, still beating consensus analyst estimates at 1.4. Bastian noted, though, that booking behavior is shifting. For whatever reason, Brendo, travelers are now booking closer to departure, which is is impacting the company's yield strategy. Strong performance did come, as we always expect, from the premium seats as well as the American Express partnership, which helped offset weaker main cabin sales. Listen to this. The premium product revenue rose 5%. While main cabin fell 5%. Where we always hear that, you know, obviously the rich don't have a problem. Amex revenue again jumped 10% to about $2 billion, reinforcing the trend towards high spend travelers over the budget flyers.
If you've ever flown anything other than economy, it's so hard to go back. Delta guys trying to bounce here right now. What are we doing today?
Well, apparently Brandon's flying business class everywhere. That's what we're doing. No, it is. Look, man, obviously, if you're on a long flight, you do long flights, it's a tremendous difference. The first thing I want to say is there's another thing that's kind of going on here, right? Like all that priced in recession and the economy and the concerns about the consumer obviously would have weighed on travel quite a bit. And if you want to look at where the best bounce and strength has been, like the cruise lines have been an absolute jam as well. So while we're talking about the space, it's like worth acknowledging, like Carnival right here is in the midst of a pullback after the break of the high. Like it tried to take 30, like technically consolidation and break out that top for a continuation. That looked real good on Carnival. I think you get the same kind of You're getting the same kind of relief rally here as you're starting to get some good metrics. Delta obviously doing well. I don't think it's not going to be much of a trade for me. Like if the same report happens on Carnival, we're probably looking at it, just being real, as a day trade and maybe not on DAL. But it's got a similar look in which you've just broken out resistance. It may not be a 52-week high resistance like you're going to see in a lot of the cruise lines, but it's still pretty significant. It doesn't have a huge short flow. It doesn't have any liquidity right now that I'm looking at. So I think you're probably looking for a pullback into the 200 period moving average, which is pretty significant, and then give it a bit of a wait and see. Because there's a lot of room for it to rally to get back into those highs. I just think if I'm looking in the travel space as a trade, like it's looking a little bit more of a setup here in CCL in the coming days and weeks, and some of the you're gonna move more in the cruise lines than you are in the airlines, I think. And so that's the day trade side would go to those.
I mean, this is what we're waiting for, excited for earnings season, because Delta there, beats top and bottom, 210 versus 205, 15.5 versus 15.4 on the revenue side of things. And then, their earnings per share was supposed to be 125 to 175 with estimates of 134. So way higher on the estimate side of things. If you do think the high side could come in 175 per share, pretty huge on that one. Plus quarterly revenue increase as well. So yeah, man. And they restored guidance. I was saying forever, companies should stop guiding, and I'm glad that at least Delta did. And this is what happens when they restore it. Nice move back there to the upside, definitely breaking out right now. Here's the cup, maybe got a little bit of a handle action. It's trying to break through this little area right there, $53. We do it today. Great report, breaking out levels. Delta's along. I don't know. I don't invest in any airlines, but I think it's a good-looking trade, and I think you can probably hold this. And I would just say whoopsies, I just closed that chart. If you are nervous about anything, just go back and put your stop here at 53.50 or so, or give it a little bit lower, maybe 53, something like that. And if we come back in somehow, not today, but just if you're long Delta and you think that you can get that move back to all-time highs in the 80s, that worth the risk here for $4. Like we just said there with Andy, who came on earlier, at some point, you take the risk to reward, and this one looks healthy, especially now that we have the beat. So this is what we're waiting for. Earnings season is now upon us. Delta, good job.
All right, IBIT coming back into significant levels here after that huge run up late in the day yesterday. It's the ETF, but you can go ahead and look at the actual Bitcoin price right now, but we are holding that initial pullback from after the close yesterday. All-time highs for Bitcoin.
Yeah, can't complain about this. Surging almost 2% yesterday, Brendo. Briefly hitting a new record of $112,052, Joe. The previous high was $111,999, according to one exchange that set back on May 22nd. Despite, though, the billions of Q2 inflows into these Bitcoin spot ETFs, price action has been kind of muted until this week, but this is really what caught my attention. corporate treasury Bitcoin purchases are outpacing ETF inflows, which indicates the deepening institutional adoption outside traditional vehicles. So corporations buying the coin itself, retail more likely to buy the ETF goes the idea here. The outlook, though, there's thin volumes on a bullish setup. So analysts expect further upside into crypto week, get that in a moment, in DC next week as legislative momentum and bullish sentiment build. Open call interest as well, Brendo, currently outweighs the puts, indicating traders are betting on further upside. And the technicians here are saying near-term targets include about 120,000, with summer rallies likely to be volatile due to thin liquidity. And I was telling you off camera, crypto week next week in the House of Representatives, 3 different crypto kind of related legislations up for debate and possibly passage.
Yeah, more to come. The dollar separation also, I think, helping a little bit. Dollar still downside in a huge way, guys. What do we do here for IBIT today?
Very quickly, I want to acknowledge a really good point by it was conservative movement in the chat here, and you had a couple of good points. I was trying to respond to it. I have my response in it. If you're about to invest in something, do this. Take a piece of paper and write down 10 things you know about the business without looking anything up. I think it's really sound advice. And in my response, I was also like, if you're turning a successful swing trade into an investment, you should also think about the same thing. Simply being in the money in something isn't necessarily a reason to hold it forever. And I've been guilty of that, especially in my early years as well. It's like, well, you're up a bunch, so I'm just going to hold it forever. No, not necessarily, because Silvergate's a perfect example of that. But let's go to IBIT for a second. I don't care whether or not there was a lot of fun and banter in the aftermarket show. Did we hit which exchange is an all-time high and which ones weren't? So let's forget about all of that. You tagged it, you pulled back. That's the only thing I'm concerned with here. We tagged it, we pulled back a little bit, and what has been happening almost every single open, sell, 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 sell. So if we do that again, you've got 2 levels, 62.8, 62.4. That's where I'm looking for the dip buy. And if we break the all-time high again, look, the last time we had all-time high breaks, it happened in the middle of the day, and it was fantastic. That being said, the initial break, when it failed back in, the dip buy was even better. So you've got to also remember, when you make that breakout scalp trade, if it pulls all the way back, I'm looking at the volume-weighted average price every single time on Bitcoin. If we get a breakout of that high and it's great and it goes a little bit forward, then it pulls back, retakes, I want to look at that volume-weighted average price. Other than that, I'm just looking at those 2 previous lower highs on the note for a little bit of dip action. Like 4 days in a row, it's dipped at the open.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, look, I mean, I don't mind looking at a little bit of IBIT for everybody. Again, here, I just think you wait for that break to happen, right? I mean, 63, that's yesterday's level, 63, 67. You know, if you want to, if it's going to get another run today, I mean, it's not like that run yesterday was epic. I mean, we've seen these things happen before. I mean, we went from 109 to 112. You went up like almost 2%. Okay, AMD's up 4% today, right? So, yeah, look, the days of getting rich on Bitcoin are over. It's now just an investment. So, yeah, if you like the stock and you like the way the chart looks, it looks like it wants to break out right there. So I'd say this is a long 63.75. You know, you're never going to get Bitcoin upgraded or anything like that anywhere. Well, at some point maybe you will, but not anytime soon. I like Sharif's talk there about institutional buy. You know, 63.60, 63.70, whatever this all-time high is there on IBIT needs to be taken when it gets taken out, and that's that. You know, and what I mean by getting rich, like if anybody put in $1,000 20 years ago or 15 years ago into Bitcoin, you're now a millionaire. That's not happening anymore. You know, it's just not going to, you know, expand like that. So I would just say, you know, trade it as an investment. It definitely has now a place in everybody's portfolio, I would think. And, you know, no surprise to me, but maybe a surprise to many, you know, less than half of our audience holds Bitcoin. So, you know, again, I don't think you're missing too much by not holding it, especially now, but you've missed a nice run up. So I would say if you're getting excited about maybe making a purchase or your first time on Bitcoin, I think you can even make it now at these levels. And then, just wait to see what winds up happening. And if it does come back in, there's going to be definitely pull downs at some point, just like there is in the market. And I think you can actually dollar cost average into Bitcoin now moving forward and just treat it as like it's gold. I don't know what's going to outperform what over the next 5 years, gold or Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has definitely been something stable. I like other coins for bigger move potentials, like a Ripple. XRP, I think, has a better chance of actually, getting huge again against something else. Like, you have here, if you're just going to look at Ripple, we still have a way. This is market cap. So, anyways, okay, we can even just use the market cap. It at one point got up here to almost 200 billion. You're only at 144 now. So right now, Bitcoin's up here and XRP's down here. You could do something very, very similar with Ethereum as well if you want to look over there. I mean, it still has much more to go. I just don't necessarily think that smart contracts and building on top of Ethereum is a thing. But, those meme coins continue to work on Solana as well. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I just think that if you're going to be in Bitcoin, I think it's just more of a holding rather than like I'm going to get rich off of it. That's already happened. It's a great hold, buy and hold strategy. I just think there's better coins if you're going to be looking to sort of, I don't want to use the term YOLO, but actually get, some sort of a rich aspect to it. I don't think Bitcoin is there. I think it's just going to continue to climb higher. I'm a big Bitcoin bull. I mean, we don't share how much we hold in Bitcoin, but I hold a lot of it, and I still think it's going to be going higher. So, we'll wait to see where it goes from here. But yeah, I'm definitely a bull in this name.
And one interesting, before we go back to the desk, Coinbase is actually red today. After it didn't, like Bitcoin went, it didn't break its highs. So this could be, I mean, if we just keep that in the back of your mind here, if IBIT gets that, if Bitcoin makes that breakout, I would suspect maybe you can get a bit of a lag action here in Coinbase, because all of the Robinhood's actually, I looked over and I was like, why is Robinhood's up 1.6? Why is Coinbase down? I didn't see any particular reason for it, and Robinhood's trending up and Coinbase is trending down. So it might be something to keep an eye on, as that just sort of stood out when I was scanning through some adjacent types of names. Let's go talk about more chips, because AMD, $200?
Nonstop.
Wow.
AMD, yeah. Here's two different notes on AMD today. One from Goldman Sachs, HSBC with a pure upgrade to a buy and $200 price target to go along with that. We mentioned the Goldman Sachs one a little bit earlier. That's how the chart looks right now. These stocks past couple of days have been reacting tremendously to just analyst moves, it seems.
Yeah, it's a good look here for AMD after taking basically a year off, Brendo, from up moves. So HSB's Frank Lee upgrading, as Brendo mentioned, AMD to buy from hold, citing confidence in the growth trajectory of the company. He set a new bull case of a street high here amongst analysts of $200. The street average, though, over the last 12 months is about $134, which implies about a 3% downside from the current price level. AMD holds an outperform consensus rating amongst 52 brokerages, with the average recommendation score of 2.1 on a scale of 1.5. Really, it comes down to their data set and their revenue. $3.7 billion here, Brendo. That's a 57% bump year over year, led by their EPYC CPU and their Instinct AI accelerators. That AI tailwind continues to drive hyperscaler demand and a high margin product mix, but they do have some headwinds. So new export restrictions, as we've been talking about by the Trump administration, on specifically the MI308 chip, which is designed for China, is going to dent their 2025 revenue by about $1.5 billion, with about a $700 million hit already baked into the Q2 outlook. And their Q2 guidance here, they're guiding about $3.4 billion plus or minus $300 million.
Pretty good example, I think, of all the money still waiting to participate in this AI-related rally that is sitting on the sidelines or sitting in treasuries or T-bills or whatever, and it has to be put back to work. Sure. I mean, interest rates are not coming down yet, but eventually that's going to make the shift back towards the market here. But up and away, guys, for AMD today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why. I'm not a huge golf fan, to make an analogy here, but there's a reason why. Like, you come like seventh at the Masters or whatever tournament it might be, and it's you're doing way better than some of the winners from years ago, because the rising tide lifts all ships, and that's what's. And AMD is going to benefit from that, and it is benefiting from that. So look, it's in a nice upward channel here. I think a retest of those highs. I don't know, like just underneath the 150 level seemed possible. That said, it's now pulled from sitting down. It's now pulled a little too far away to want to chase it up here. So I do think if we get some kind of a pullback, that might have to be the way to go about it, because prior highs and all that usual stuff that I like for a long continuation aren't coming into play for AMD. VWAP sits at 142. That's about as reasonable a place as anything. I feel like if we get a dip, I might prefer Nvidia. So that's where I'll go to first. But if Nvidia is going and then didn't get into it and AMD pulls back into either the 42 or the 41, then I would pivot over to AMD. In about a minute or so, we're going to get the imbalances coming through. We'll see if any of the chip names are on there.
Yeah, I was actually just a nice
right
one
now,
there. Yeah, another coffee on me. Well, where's Joe at? Like, I'm the one always going on these coffee runs. If anybody wants to, so what's up, Eddie? Thank you so much. I'm going to find Joe. If anybody else wants to go on a coffee run, I'll take one. So thank you so much to Eddie right there, man. We say bang, 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 and thank you so much for that, Eddie right there. I'll find Joe if he wants to go and get us some coffee. All right, what are we talking about? AMD. So yeah, I actually, AVGO, Broadcom right now getting some Nancy Pelosi bumps. Apparently traders circulating some more Nancy Pelosi stuff. But at Broadcom, again, another big time winner, doing opposite basically of AMD, where you are at all-time highs, breaking every single day, new all-time highs right there. So AMD right now doing the best right now today. And I think AMD can continue to win, man. I mean, Lisa Su, very, very smart individual. They're going to get it figured out. She knows she's not Nvidia, right? I mean, and you don't have to be. You can be something else. And, there's a lot of opportunity to win in this if the AI game is as strong as we all think it is. I just said Nvidia is going to be the best stock for a very, very long time. I would stick by that. There's no way I'd invest in AMD over Nvidia. But at the end of the day, you can have multiple winners, like I was just saying. So I like the stock. It didn't make my sticky note. I think it's overdone today, up 3 and a bit, considering the Nasdaq's not doing anything. I'd much rather trade Tesla, Nvidia, AVGO, even Intel rather than AMD. But again, I like it. It's just we'd have to get a pullback. Like I said, Nvidia pullback into yesterday's close. So I don't think we're going to get that on AMD. So we're going to have to wait to see what this market does. With no economic numbers today or nothing, I'm just not sure where we're going here with advanced micro devices. For me, too hot of a stove to touch. I'm going to stay away from that one. Yeah, I like Micron. I like Marvell. I like I like AMD. It's just for today, for me, we'll just chill out. Right now, we've got our linen shirt on. We're ready to relax right now. Hey, Goober, how much money can you manage to lose today? Probably all of it. That's what winds up happening. And like we said, man, rarely are all of us green here. So there will be red days. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we go, I just want to get to the imbalances before we go up to the desk here, because a few people were just asking about it. It's just really Wolf for 500,000 to sell, TSLL 350,000 to the buy side. I mean, ETHA is a small buy at 277, so really a nothing burger on the imbalances when they just dropped out here. If something updates, we'll let you guys know, but I want to make sure we got that in. Before we talk about MP Materials.
143.
Flirting with $50 right now. It's tested it a couple of times. We are coming back in a little bit right now, but just could not get through. That's $50 right now. It's unbelievable. This thing was $30 at the end of the day yesterday.
Unreal. Imagine, like you were telling me, imagine being short.
It's 25%
waking
short.
Up, and
you wake up to a 60% move against you.
Yeah, you're getting blown out. You're probably getting that margin call if it's on margins. All right, guys. So big jump here in the pre-market, reaching the highest price level it's been at in over 3 years. The move follows, though, the announcement of a public-private partnership with the U.S. Department of Defense. The collaboration aims to accelerate U.S. rare earth magnet supply chain development and reduce foreign reliance. We know that there's beef right now between the States and China with respect to rare earth elements. MP will construct a second domestic magnet manufacturing plant called the 10X facility. The plant will be backed by a multi-billion-dollar investment package and long-term DoD commitments. The location details, though, are still pending, but the site will serve both defense and commercial customers. The new facility is expected to start operating in 2028, and once completed, MP's total U.S. magnet production capacity will be about 10,000 metric tons annually. They also plan to enhance their heavy rare earth separation capacity at the Mount Pass, California site, and the upgrades aim to further secure domestic sourcing of critical minerals vital to high-tech and defense sectors. And we also know, like on this side of the border, the premier of this province, Doug Ford, is looking at opening up the Ring of Fire up in Sudbury, very, very rich of elements and magnets and stuff.
Yeah, as you should. 120 million float, guys, 25.8% short. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a squeeze play right now because the shorts got obviously caught off guard, no question about it. Only about 20 seconds to go. I'm going to let this one settle at the open because I'm not buying any highs. People are probably going to want to ring the register a little bit in here. And I was thinking 40 to 41, and that's just a pipe dream. So either it's like VWAP or let it settle down. We're not even usually looking at this kind of a name. So I want to see what the liquidity is like on MP. But we are locked and loaded, ready to bring you the opening bell by Beta Pro. Shout out to Beta Pro. Check the QR code in front of you. As we will open up, wow, an immediate move right through the even dollar on MP. And also Tesla pulled back into 300 right off the open and bouncing off the volume weighted average price. So Tesla and that 300, it's almost like it has a permanent date with that price action.
Yeah, we're long already. We took a little position just before the bell opened up. Wasn't sure where Palantir was going to go. So we're long Palantir right now. We're long, and it's in the money, but it's just now it's not. This is what Palantir does, man, just back and forth. I'm not worried about it. We're still waiting for our Tesla to break through 304. When that happens, we're going to go long as well. Palantir just made that move up into almost into 144. I'm taking the long if that does happen, but very, very small position right now on PLTR. Tesla trying to go through the high of the day. I mean, 303 is that high. The reason why I wrote down 304 is we've came back into 304. It's not going to look good on this chart. It's going to look good over here right now. There goes Tesla, 304, these levels right into there. So if we can break out through 304, we're going to go long Tesla. I feel like maybe missing a little bit of it right now, but that's okay. We'll wait to see where Tesla goes now. 302 and change. Nvidia, Palantir, those are what's on my mind right now. We can check out what's going on with Big Bear AI. Tesla still moving.
There goes
and
Tesla.
There it goes. Yeah, there goes Tesla. What? I was just on it there. We're long at 304. Okay. Yeah, there it goes, man. Big trade alert right now for Tesla. Let's go, baby. Almost day goal, Neil. I don't know how many shares you took, but your boy is in the building right now again. So there's a big trade alert for me on Tesla. Let's see what winds up happening. Just got some out there at 305. So let's now wait to see where we go for this one. Oh boy, it's Tesla making it happen again. Neil, there's 1 times daily goal again, man. Oh boy, I'm going to miss not being here over the next little while, but good trade there so far on Tesla. And we hit it as if we're here. You know, this is our last day, but we still have a couple more. 305. Let's wait to see what happens there. Waiting for Palantir to go next.
Hopefully Palantir goes, but what a great trade on Tesla. I didn't get filled on the break, and I tried to get it at 05s when it took that 03.
Jesus.
So I did not cross far enough, it looks like.
Boys.
I only crossed to 11s. Yeah, I usually cross to like 21s or 31s, only crossed to 11s. Nvidia is starting to pull right back in. That might give us the long on a dip. As the market, Tesla's going up, but the market's actually coming to the downside. So got to go quickly over. I haven't looked at AMD yet because we were looking first over at Nvidia, not AMD, and Nvidia's coming right into that 163. So that could hit first. If you're looking at the chips, AMD did tag 145, and it's also trying to pull back a little bit. So yeah, AMD's actually looking stronger than Nvidia, but I still think I'm probably going to get that one at that 63 level as a first look on NVDA.
I mean, we are now just, honestly, man, wow, what a day. There goes Palantir breaking 144. We have that trade. There goes a Tesla breaking 305. Not only do we have that trade, Neil, but you missed it. Hopefully you got long on the pullback. It pulled right back in again, and we hit that again as here we go. Neil, 5 times, almost 4 times right now, daily goal right now being hit. Oh boy, we're here. People say you can't do it again. You can't do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but there it goes, a nice little upside move one more time. It's Palantir, it's Tesla. And by the way, remember you guys are like, oh, Sean's on a hangover today. How about this energy, Ramin? How's it going, Ramin? Looking pretty good. Oh, there, I like that purple. But here we go. So far, so good here today. This is what you call big energy, man. I was going to say something else, but here it goes. It's a nice energy right here. Good job today so far trading. It's been a big one, man. My salute to you. My salute to Sticky Note Nation. There it goes. This is what we do every day here live on Trader TV Live, except for next week and the day after that because I'm not here. But there it goes. So far, so good. Let's wait to see what happens with Palantir.
Where's Palantir? Did it break the all-time? No.
No, it's 144 and change, just like what
Not
we had written.
That's not
right
what I meant.
there.
145 it's not an all-time high on Palantir.
No,
145 is what I have in my mind.
Yeah,
'Cause someone was
148
saying
is
that earlier
all-time
today. I did not get. Tesla hasn't dipped back into 303.
No.
It's doing it now, so that's where I'm on the bid. I am into Nvidia, and we just saw a bid on MP Materials for the first time in here today, as it's trying to catch back up. So it just held 45. I want to see it at least try to close. This is selling off pretty heavily, and the spread is
Fabian,
the spread is nuts on this.
Board is not
thing.
working.
Like there's not much bid action, and the liquidity is pretty weak on MP. So you definitely want to let this calm down. It's entirely possible this could halt if we lose this 45 here. It just dropped $3. So be very, very patient in trying to catch this falling knife. It's not looking very healthy. And Bitcoin also pulling back pretty heavily.
Now it's working.
I like 62.8 and 62.4
Glad I told you.
on IBIT. That was the two levels that I'm trying to watch. Everybody. So that's starting to come back in on the dip. The market is headed to the downside pretty quickly here, but we're only down 0.07. The Nasdaq, though, trying to go red. Hold red. It just went red, sorry.
Yeah, man. Oh boy. So Tesla's just been an exciting trade today, needless to say, man. As we've got a couple different reloads, gotten out of some, gotten back into some. I mean, I'm not even sure where this thing is going to go. That break of 302, that's going to be the VWAP there. What about a 301 break or so to the downside there for Tesla? But we're long Nvidia at the posted price that we wanted. I mean, this is why I do these things, man. 163 and a quarter. Let's wait to see where it goes. But there goes Tesla. There goes Palantir. It's an oh boy moment one more time here today, man. We're doing it here every single day. I want to thank you. Joe, if you want to get some coffee for everybody, here's Eddie right here, or Brendo, or anybody wants to go, Ramin. Anybody want to go get coffee for everybody? It is on the show today. Thank you so much to Eddie right there as we go. And there it is, Neil. It is now a absolute monster of a trade. It does fall right back into your 303 level. We actually reloaded down there at 303. So there it goes, man. Beautiful trade to the upside right there for Tesla, man. All right, what a day right now in the market, man. As there goes Tesla, $1.50 in the money. There goes Palantir. It's absolutely monstrous. We had one of the bigger days around here yesterday, well, the biggest, and we're already beating it now today. These trades are just so hot fire, man. I love bull markets, man. So far, so good over here. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. My man Neil over here has the same price. We both got Nvidia right there, but it's the Palantir and the Tesla show so far here today. What's up, Miss A?
Keep an eye here on Coinbase. About 5 minutes before the open, we had CEO Brian Armstrong announcing via X that the company is partnering with Perplexity AI to give traders real-time crypto data. So Coinbase announcing a Perplexity partnership this morning. I mean, this is more going to be a crypto story, but another catalyst to keep an eye on for this. Just so you guys know, we don't have any economic data coming at 10 a.m. or 9:45. At 1 p.m., we will get a 30-year bond auction. We'll have a couple Fed speakers in the afternoon as well. Back to you.
Okay, well, Coinbase was weak as all heck this morning. I'll give it a quick look because I thought that could have been a catch-up play, but crypto was going to the downside right off the open, so I would suspect that's not going to be good. I just got the first buyer that I've seen all day on MP, and immediately it goes right back through 45, got the punch back through, not letting it pass the prior bar low. I don't want to risk, look, it's probably going to move $5, $10, $15, but I still, at the opening range, don't want to risk more than the dollar on MP. I want to keep it tight to the vest. I know it can move $5, $10 at a time, but I don't want to hold it too much more than that. Going to stick with the rules of prior bar low. Nvidia is not looking all that healthy, and I'm glad you're in it. I did not get Tesla at 03s on that pullback.
You might be the jinx on Nvidia, man.
No,
it's
I got
the only trade that's not working.
303. I'm sitting at 303.33 and didn't get filled down there. But it looks like it's just going to have to be continuation anywhere on Tesla as far as I'm concerned, because the gap is to 314 today, which is like $7 away.
I mean, guys, like Tesla's the easiest trade today for me because we actually even wrote it down right there. Tesla, 298 support or a break of 304. So, obviously as this goes now, it's now $3 in. And thank you, Neil, for the nice comments there about the trading, because yeah, man, trading is definitely not easy. I mean, I think that we often show that, and we'll show every single day the differences of what's been happening around here. Like there goes Tesla right now. This will now be P&L number 1 by far for the month for me, as there it goes. We are now at 3 times our daily goal. It's 10 minutes in. So although we're going to be, obviously focusing on news stories and things like that and just trying to give you guys all the best of everything, Tesla is just the best right now. As we get the story about Grok going into Teslas, I can't wait to try that out. Hopefully it will roll down to mine, and that should be exciting, so really looking forward to that. We also get the sales numbers we get from Tesla there yesterday. Let me read the exact story there before I go off, but this was, again, on the sticky note, Palantir 143, 143.50, we're in that early on that play, and so there goes Palantir, huge move to the upside, definitely took some profits. Wow, we're almost at 4 times right now. Tesla's story, CEO Elon Musk, company-related announcements on X. Although, if you look at Grok, you would think that, what were they? It was said themselves Mecha Hitler or something yesterday. What a crazy Grok situation there.
Yeah, that's not great.
And also, not some nice comments about the Jewish people, but I don't know what's going on with that. The San Francisco Bay Area expanding robo-taxis as well. So, hey, man, we're here. We're not here next week, and obviously, you'll be sitting there watching out for these guys trade, but for right now, it's Tesla, it's Palantir, and it's some nice movements to the upside here. I'm just going to start to cash out everything, man. I mean, what else can we do? Like I said, man, I just sit here and trade, push the keys, and then let the trading and the actions and the numbers speak for themselves. So, we're here, we're trading, and we're putting up some big numbers. And again, just to go to show you, right? Like this is what's going on, and you got to sort of start to up your game, and I think that we've done that. I've done that here, so I'm pretty proud of myself. So we'll do a little bit of a Barry Horowitz there. We're doing better every day. I feel like I'm getting better, and I think that that's the key.
Which is all you're trying to do here, everybody. And just one quick note: Nvidia is not looking healthy. It did just give a nice press back in and try to tag VWAP, and it is a bottoming tail. It's a good bottoming tail entry there. There's the break, there's the hold of the prior low, there's the add, but then we can't really get into the volume weighted average price. It goes to first target and then right back down in. You want to see a green candle on this to confirm this long, and I'm not seeing any of that nature. You're still heading to the downside, still looking pretty nasty, and overall, it's not like it's lacking strength in the chip names. AMD's holding VWAP right now. I kind of thought that Nvidia was going to be the stronger one, given that AMD was the one that I thought had gone a little bit too far. For now, that's just not the case. So I got my stop at that prior bar low on Nvidia, and we'll keep it. But AMD seems like it's going to be the better play here off the volume weighted average price for sure. And shout out to Scruffy. Thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. That's my wife's dog when she was growing up. Was named Scruffy, so that's an awesome name. Thank you for the super chat there, Scruffy. Let's see if AMD can do this party as well. Nvidia is starting to head back up. It's just that it's not nearly as strong as AMD, and you got to be able to acknowledge that for sure. But here we go. It looks like this one is going to the highs. If you're looking at what's going on in crypto, which we thought might be a little bit more interesting here today, it's sold off every morning, 4 days, just sold off every single morning before bouncing. I'm still looking for 62.8, but I have to acknowledge it's consolidating heavily just in front of where I like it at 62.9. So I'm going to give it a shot. It's at 95. It's like 5 cents worth of risk to the low at this point, but it's right in front of the level that we wanted to be dip buying it anyways. So we'll take our first shot as long as it can just break this little trend and back in, get above 95. We'll get some 96s, and then look to see if we can get a continuation play on the crypto names.
All right, today's, we had Delta. I'm just trying to get out of some Nvidia because I just don't want this thing to really, whatever. It's going to be, we're going to go 3 for 3 and absolutely huge. There it is again. Eddie, look, I can't get anybody to make these coffee runs, but I do appreciate all of, who said what? You want to go, Fabian? If anybody wants to go get it, man, we have $150 right now for a coffee run. So we want to say thank you so much. There it is, man. 100K profit. There it goes, man. Shout out to you, Eddie. Yeah, no one's putting up anything close to those numbers around here. So we appreciate that 100K profit. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for the $100. Let me know, Eddie, what you're doing it on. You know, again, congratulations. Yeah, year to date, daily, whatever that is, man. That is absolutely huge. Obviously, traders don't even make that in their career, and you are making it. I don't know when that was. So shout out to you, Eddie, for sure, man. Eddie the Eagle, right there, Joe. Who's Eddie the Eagle?
He doesn't know.
There it is, Eddie Belfour. Of course he knows that.
No, I'm just joking.
All right, man. There goes Nvidia. Neil, we go
Finally.
3 for 3, man. It is now that hot dog kind of a day, man. I don't know. Whatever, man. We're Noah. Just load up the ark here, put these things in, and let's sail off. There it goes, man. Nvidia, huge move. Tesla, huge move. We're enjoying ourselves. People thought that we came in here all hungover. Then the market opens up and the natural energy just kicks right in. And that's what it is. We kick in that door of the market one more time here today. And it's not like these are fluky trades, man. We do it every single day except next week. Obi and Neil will be here next week, and that should be obviously a great one as well. But yeah, you know, there it goes. So absolutely monstrous trading over here, and just really happy. Hopefully you guys, I know this is not supposed to really be all about trading. We can flip it over to something else right now. Let's look at Delta quickly just to see what's going on, because again, I'm in Nvidia. We posted up Nvidia. We posted up Nvidia.
Forget
and Palantir
Delta, SoFi.
and Tesla right now.
Forget Delta.
No, well, we have to talk about
but Delta's pulling back right now.
Yeah. So
SoFi's got a buy program on it right now. Big time buy program on SoFi, up 4.5%. You know the fintech space has been going. This has got a bit of a squeeze accent to it. Don't forget, they report in 2.5 weeks. They have a history of, even if it's a beat, selling off on that report. It's just what happens in SoFi. Trust me, I'm frustrated with it too because I'm a shareholder, but this one has been going for the last couple of days. The whole space looks really good. Robinhood's running as well, so it's not as if this is doing it on its own, but it is doing it without that much of a push in crypto. Like this is going without crypto here, and I know they're not a pure crypto play. It seems like a bit of a technical breakout in SoFi. I just want to make sure we got to it because it was happening as we spoke.
Okay, whatever. We can keep it going. I'm just going to post this up here on X here right now for. Sorry, Eddie, man. I can't get anyone to go grab coffees. So, no, nothing. We got $150 in. No, I don't need anything. This guy's super chatted us. If anybody wants to go get coffee, he keeps on asking for it. But, you know, I got a show to do over here. So thank you, Eddie, for that. I'm just looking at you guys. I can help. No, I don't know if anybody wants coffee. Okay, I'll send you. I'm going to send Sharif my order. So thank you so much, Sharif, for doing that as well. But yeah, Tesla just continues to make that move upside right there. No, I just want to say, like, if Eddie's going to super chat it, we might as well take advantage of it. I mean, there's another $100. This man has done $250 for us
Eddie?
Right there today.
Eddie Sarkisian.
So, yeah, we want to a big thank you so much to Eddie right here, man. Eddie Sarkisian. Yeah, thank you so much for all of that, man. There's 100 right there. There's another 100 right there. That's 200. There's another 50. That's 250 this man is dropping. So, yeah, wow. Thank you so much for all of that support. Like, just an absolutely banger of a day here, and we can't support it enough without you guys. So thank you so much as we continue to, you know, build out that build in the back. We continue to get bigger and better every single day. And thank you so much, Eddie, for that, man. You know, friend of the show forever with stuff like that. That's very, very kind of you. And whenever somebody shares their wealth like that, like you're talking about, like, I just know how tough it is. Like I said, I've trained thousands and thousands of traders, and out of those thousands and thousands, maybe tens of them have turned out to be successful. So when you're looking at stuff like that, man, I really want to appreciate that and say thank you to everybody. It's a very, very hard business, and Eddie showing us, and hopefully I'm also trying to show you guys as well that this trading, you know, can be possible. And we want to thank you, Eddie, for all of that, man. Just nothing but good vibes around here. So, yeah, man, Tesla pulling back. We're almost out of pretty much, I only have like less than 10% of everything left right now. Like when we can make our day 3x in the first 8 minutes or whatever, maybe similar to what you did there, Eddie, let me know in the chat, Eddie. You can even just do a super chat of like $1 or whatever, and we'll see what you traded and what you want to talk about, because thank you so much for all of that, man. It does mean a lot to the Trader TV Live family here for sure. So yeah, man, big time days happening, and we're glad that you're with us.
Absolutely, and we're gonna get to the market, which is actually coming back in a second. But we got to give a big shout out to the 3x daily leveraged ETFs that you're gonna get over at Beta Pro by Global X, because savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can look at these names into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 with 3x daily leveraged ETFs in Beta Pro, featuring built-in FX hedging, which is pretty key these days, aiming to simplify or amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of those currency swings that you're seeing. Whether you're bullish or bearish, these ETFs give you active day traders that are ready to take on the market a fantastic product. So read the full risk disclosure and the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Scan the QR code for more information out in front. Speaking of those Qs, or even the SPY, right now breaking the lows. We just broke the low of the day and went red on the session.
There's another
and it's getting dragged down by Amazon, which is flushing almost a full percent to the downside. Another one, shout out to Eddie in there. I'm mostly Forex and some options on stocks, but you're an Amazon FBA guy. So congratulations, Eddie. There's something for everybody, and we appreciate that. We have Forex traders, there's options traders out there. There are people that only look at crypto. It's a great community that it's all just about learning and getting better. Whatever your strategy might be, there's so many things that you can apply from one thing to another. So I'm glad you're able to get something out of that. And thank you so much, Eddie. We'll make sure we take advantage of that, and we do truly appreciate it. But fantastic. Forex. We actually have Forex here at Real Trading. Not heavily traded, but it is available.
Yeah, definitely available. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just... Again, really, like I said, I cashed out of Nvidia. Like, you know, we have very small pieces left of everything right now. So, yeah, just watching this market go up and down here again. But it is a huge day for TSLA. I mean, there goes Nvidia. I don't know. I don't know where you cashed out, but I cashed out up there exactly. So,
which is,
I mean, at least I'm glad you.
163.90 is the volume weighted average price. Just we'll say VWAP, but if you don't have VWAP on your chart, then I should say the price too, right? Like it's just. It makes sense to always do that. Thank you very much. We got another super chat in Rustam. We appreciate all of them. First of all, I do not know what OSRH. Always want to get that out of the way anytime we're looking at a random name. And I can tell you when these come up, put a super chat in, and I don't mind pulling it up, but there is absolutely nothing to see here. It's done no volume. It's not moving, and I don't know it. And anytime I see these, I say you've got to stay away from them unless there's a catalyst. Come on. If it starts going, sometimes these can be trades, but obviously no volume, not happening. But we appreciate the super chat. But you know, you're looking at things that are moving and things that are giving you some kind of a catalyst or reason to be in them or reason to be interested in them. And that's the idea here. And it's nothing against small cap stocks. You know, like there's a bunch of them that are fantastic. Whether it's Webull, which we both own. There's so many out there. Another one from Eddie as well. Wow. You don't have to apologize. Sorry, boys. YouTube not allowing more than 500 daily, but here I'm on Elon's platform, Daytrader LA. Shout out to you there. We appreciate you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Eddie. Eddie, the Forex trader. Absolutely loving it. That's a first. I think it's the first time I've seen someone as a primary Forex trader as a fan of the show. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie, man. Means a lot right there. All right, we can look at some Big Bear AI. Thanks again, Eddie, man. That's really nice. And stupid YouTube. Allow more.
I didn't know that was a rule.
I've never heard of that. Allow more. Okay.
They're taking their cut anyway, so what do they care?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, send your money directly to me. I mean, YouTube takes their cut, but no, thank you again so much, Eddie, for that. Yeah, Big Bear AI. And by the way, man, in all the excitement, we wrote down Amazon 220, right? So whether or not that comes into play here, I'm not sure. but it is trying to go right now back into those levels. So we got to watch out for Amazon potentially coming back in. I did finally put a stop on Tesla for our last 10%. If this breaks through 303.50, then we're gone. I know Neil's gonna.
I'm out of Nvidia.
No, not Nvidia, man. Nvidia's over with. Yeah, Nvidia.
I thought that's what you were saying.
Nah. We're talking Tesla right now. So yeah, we'll wait to see what happens here with Tesla. If it does break below that, I just want to use. I mean, right here. That's 303.50. So, you know, generally we will play on some kind of support and resistance levels, but if it breaks through, then it breaks through. Yeah, that's the best part about it right here. Sean sounds like he's having a rough morning. That's hilarious. This is probably the best morning I've had in a very, very long time. So, yeah, man, this is good. This is good. And, you know, we all trade with different share sizes and everything. And I'm just, you know, if I'm in a winner like that, it's going to be a good morning. And sometimes we'll have losers. So it's not like it's just one street. But we haven't had like a red day in a very, very long time. So we definitely are feeling what's been working here. And it's just been great. We talk about this all the time. Like I gamble, so I know what I'm talking about. But you can get hot, you know, watching out for gambling. Like, you know, you get teams that are on streaks. Like we just talked about the Blue Jays winning 10 or 11 in a row. So
the record was 11. They only
yeah, exactly. So there it goes, man. So it's like, this is the thing. It's when you're on one, you're on one. And I sucks to take next week off, but you gotta take some kind of vacays there. We talked about giving experiences and everything. And that's what we're going to be doing, man. Going some whale watching there in Boston. I'll see everybody in the lovely city of Boston next week. It should be a lot of fun for that. And then my daughter's hockey, and then we've got lots of stuff happening there. Palantir, I might just get out of everything because I don't have any more reason to really be in anything. The market's coming back down in, and yeah, there goes. Yeah, there goes Tesla again. Let's take another one on this. I mean, it's now up another one into that dollar area. I could see buying some more down there, but let's just see if it wants to hold. I'm just not happy with the way this market's going. So that's all, man. Palantir's a huge stock for me today. It's pulling back. And as I said, maybe getting a little lazy with this last little piece on for Palantir. We could have got more out there at 145, but we didn't. So I'm going to get out of Palantir pretty soon if we continue to make this move down. The 200 period moving average is going to have to break for me. That's 143. So 143 and we're out of Palantir. I'm going to dip by too.
Well, I said it out loud, but just to reiterate, I said I'm out of Nvidia, right? Like it broke that prior bar, never moved the stop ultimately. It just ended up holding clean. And look at it reverse, continue to go underneath. Look, if it gets down to 162.5, those are the only spots I was looking. I'm looking at the prior high. That's not the prior, the afternoon high, and then the morning support after the run up. And so we have to see that hit. What's weird about all of this, and we're going to go to Adair in a quick little second here, but what's weird is IBIT bounced and is holding the higher low like I was looking for. So while the market continues to fall, IBIT holding that higher low is looking at the 62.8. So it's not.
This market is really.
It's not necessary. Like I wasn't expecting that I'd be getting a higher low bounce when the market's breaking lower, but that's a setup. That's the level we like. So my stop goes under the low, and we're long into some IBIT. And let's go to Adara.
And I just wanted to mention this OSRH. I guess now it's been a little bit of a while, but I did. I did want to look into the catalyst for you guys. I also want to mention here, I'm seeing a float of like 6.54 million shares, so small float, but nothing super significant. Some more details on this stock, and thank you for the super chat. Back to you.
All right, I don't know.
I could hear. Could you guys hear?
No, well, everyone was writing Mike there, so I just wanted to let Andre know over there. So shout out to that. All right, Palantir bye-bye, Tesla bye-bye. Obviously, as we talk about it, we're, you know, hella green on the day, and it's been a big one. It's just, yeah, we could have got out of more, but thankfully we did try to get at 143 once it broke. It is gone right there. So again, like, we'll be green. Find out, you know, again, it doesn't matter if we're green or red, but good day so far there for sure. So I don't know, what did Dara say? I'm not sure how many of you guys missed it, but I did. So, all right, so there's 143 in change there. We might have just got a little bit of a hold. The problem is I don't want to just keep getting back in and out of these positions all the time. If it's going to break lower and the day is going to be a red day with a nice little market sell-off, then we do have to be careful trying to take these longs. I didn't write down any shorts on here today. So just because I was so sort of geared up for Tesla that I won't, and Palantir, right? What's up to my boy Danny Ives? I mean, thank you for making me that money right there. But yeah, again, lazy with this Nvidia. Look how much this is falling down. Wow, I didn't even notice this. It's not really affecting the P&L. We have such a small piece, but still, bad decision, obviously, to hold on to Nvidia as that's come right back into 162 again right now. What a move down here for Nvidia. I mean, this would have been the day where, you know, talking about AMD versus Nvidia, AMD not making the most dramatic move down, but still a nice move. And this is why you can't just go long, like, oh, stock gets upgraded, I'm going long. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that is the case all of the time. I'm going to try a piece here again on Nvidia down near this level. So we'll try to average into this. I just tried to punch in and missed it. So we'll try to punch in again there and get it. There's that time.
Morning low from
but there it is, man. Yeah, 162.50. We'll try it and see what it wants to do right now. So I'm in this position here on Nvidia. Let's just take out a little bit of profit here as there it goes. Yes, sir, man. The face slapper is back in the building right now again, man. As there goes Nvidia. I hope that we're able to get some of you long right there. How's your IBIT going right now? We're doing pretty good over on this side.
It's holding. The market just made a fresh low and it's holding a higher low. So I'm feeling like it's looking pretty good. I don't want to add to this unless I'm getting a good price right at the absolute bottom, or we're going to add to it on the way to the upside. But this is prime to break VWAP and I think make a run. First at 63.2. By the way, on Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin? I should make sure I refresh. Let's not, yeah, it is moving. We're at 110.8. So I want us to get to 111, and then I want to get some out in front of 111. And then we'll see if we can make another run at the highs. But I'll be quoting prices in IBIT, as you can see on the chart here, as we're trying to break through the volume weighted average price. Let's go to Adara, and hopefully we can, we got the issues resolved.
As part of the show, to you by our friends at Top One Futures. Are you looking to trade futures like the Nasdaq, SPY, or even Bitcoin? Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to $1 million in capital. Pick your path. Instant funded, challenge, or pro account, and start trading your way to real payouts, even a live account. Use in the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over $10 million, and they've earned 1,000 plus 5-star reviews from real traders. Use a discount code TTV, that's TTV, to save on any account. Scan the QR code or head to top1futures.com and start trading towards your next payout. Here's the Nasdaq, and it is very weak. We're almost at yesterday's low now. Initially, kind of poised to have maybe a portion out of yesterday's highs, but not able to sustain that. We do have a couple headwinds to talk about. Donald Trump announcing 50% tariffs on Brazil yesterday. We still have a lot of other tariff letters we're waiting on. He's, for the most part, been releasing them in blocks of 7, so 7 different countries at a time. Brazil was an exception, but either way, more tariff news on watch. Also 50% copper tariff announced. Here's Coinbase. I mean, crypto, of course, on watch as we had that knock on the door of all-time highs yesterday. Then right before the open today, CEO Brian Armstrong announced a partnership with Perplexity AI. Not a ton of details, but apparently it's going to be in 2 phases. Phase 1 starts today. Then we have Delta here, one of our day one earnings plays on watch. They actually restored their guidance for the fiscal year, EPS and revenue beats as well. And here's CAG, Conagra, actually a double miss here, and some guidance issues, but this one actually gapping down right now, trying to recover. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you so much, Adara. Yeah, lots of earnings names. That's what what's so great about the watch list is there was like 14, 15 really good names out there, small cap, big caps, earnings names, like whatever you like. And that's the best thing, because you really have to have an idea of what you want to focus on. Like, we've only really been looking at a couple of things this morning, which is usually the case. And we did see there was CrowdStrike was absolutely tanking here. And so I saw a few people in the chat were like, what's going on with Crowd? What's going on with Crowd? There's no news on CrowdStrike. It's really falling in. It broke 500. It seems crazy, but then look at the daily chart. It's actually not that bad. It could just be that we've fallen back in from like the high. Like it just failed the high and you're just pulling back. On a daily chart, this doesn't look that bad. If you got the 460, that's the prior high, that's the 50 period. CrowdStrike can be all right. Like they're kicking butt. Okay, fine. So they're not as good as Zscaler this year, but you know, like I wish I held more CrowdStrike than I hold Palo Alto. But yeah, there is a drop. If we see anything across the wire that's affecting the space, maybe there's something adjacent that's affecting the space, but I don't really see anything. Nvidia, man, it couldn't get past 163. Like it holds 162.5, but cannot get past the 163 level. So we're still channeling down over in Nvidia. I'm just going to sort of stick to the rule. Like if it can't hold that prior bar, and once you break the one before it, I move on to the next. I'm just going to jump out. Like I'm not going to wait for the lows. I'm going to move the stops up, like just like I did there. I'm going to do it right in here as well because we're still trending down. IBIT, for its credit, as the market goes down, continues to just hold sideways in a slight uptrend. So like I'll take it if the market's still going down and this one wants to hold on. But as I said on Nvidia, like if you're going to be able to get away with some longs that's just trending down, like you got to take the small hit and try to get what you can out of the bounces because that's the best you're going to get as these chips continue to come down. As the market comes to the downside, forget the chips, man. As the market comes to the downside.
All right, man. Yeah, tough day for sure when you're looking at Nvidia here. As you know, we're able to get out every time on Nvidia, but it's just like, you know, we had bigger winners. We just got out at 163. We just took 50 cents on that play right there. So yeah, man, still trying to watch out for all of this going right now. Delta Airlines jumped over 12% in the pre-market, of course, here today as Delta comes out beating Q2 EPS and revenue expectations and reinstating forward guidance. So nice move there. You know, again, looking at 175 as a top end there versus 134. We had WK Kellogg, KLG in the news here earlier today as well. Now up 31% here. 50% on pre-market. Yeah, 30%, sorry, up right there, considering a $3 billion takeover.
No, it's this one's now firmed up.
Okay. All right, so what's the price?
It's the KLG, it's 23 in cash.
Okay, so 23 in cash.
So we were talking about this last night in the aftermarket show. Like, do not chase those when you don't have the details. Because the worst thing that can ever happen is if all it is takeover speculation, everyone thinks just because it settles at a price that somebody knows something. In this particular case, they didn't, and when they announced 23, everybody got rugged. So just if you don't know the terms of the deal, don't just assume that the market has priced it right, because oftentimes, a lot of times they do get it right because somebody knows, but oftentimes you can get absolutely burned with that. And I had a feeling this was going to be a little bit rich, but it ended up being even worse than what I thought.
We had Trump yesterday or a couple days ago announce obviously tariffs on copper and whatnot. So we had a name like FCX. Man, this Nvidia just going lower right there. I see it just gets lower and lower and lower here as the market continues to bleed off. We don't have very many shares left of this, but still keeps on going lower. I guess when Neil and I are in the same positions, it doesn't seem to want to work out here. So I'm going to think about a level here for Nvidia and where I want to get back in. I can't use our charts because we do have that bad wick down there. So I'm just going to go over here, look at an E-signal. And this is what we're talking about when I talk about E-signal, right? I've been using this thing for over 20 years. Never has given me, honestly, a bad experience. So 160, yeah, I mean, when we're looking at that, not bad. 161 maybe, but we're going to have to let this one breathe just a little bit. I still like Nvidia, obviously, and I think it's probably a dip buy opportunity, but not only down 0.5%. We're looking for a little bit more of a move there from obviously NVDA before we start to, really average into that one. But what we were talking about was we had FCX there moving around. We had copper hit highs not too long, a couple days ago on that news. As there goes FCX up to 49 on that, now bringing it back in. COPX would be the ETF. Oops. COPX would be the ETF that you'd want to do it. Right now, the Delta CEO is talking. So they're talking about some reconciliation packages, so on and so forth, coming through. Yesterday, of course, we did have that Nvidia hitting all-time highs and a record $4 trillion, leaving everything in the dust right now. I think it's its fourth time or fifth time overtaking the #1 spot. You know what stock holds the record for the most times becoming the #1 stock?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm just going to guess Apple.
Yes, Apple.
But I have no clue because Apple's just a guess because it's Apple. But.
Yep, it's Apple. Apple, then ExxonMobil, then GE. Okay, so
GE makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Not just a pretty face over here. Microsoft also marks new highs yesterday as well. This is another name that's been part of the all-time high club at one point as well for the market, as they took out 5 bills yesterday. Nothing happening today right there on Microsoft, except for getting back down into the downside. We did have, of course, Bank of America put a target out on the S&P 500 this year of 6,300. So if you're going to look at the SPY right now, what is the ES at? ES right now, we can look at the September contract right now. So 6,300 is right where we're at right now. So that's going to be their year-end target there for Bank of America. So we're fully valued right now. I think that's a wrong call because we do have JP Morgan coming out. And I'm not here next week, but we do have JP Morgan coming out next week with all of the banks. So they'll be rolling, I mean, not all of them, but the majority of them rolling out next week. We'll see if JP Morgan can continue to hit that, man. We'll talk about the Fed as basically a 95% chance as of yesterday that we don't have anything happening over there. Travel, M&A, spotlight, tariffs, all of that, man. It's been a real fun day today in the market, that's for sure, as there goes Tesla again back there to the upside. So Tesla by far, well, whatever. Like I said, man, P&L doesn't matter, but Tesla, a huge, huge name for your boy today, and I hope for all of you as well. And before I throw over to Adira one more time, Eddie, thank you so much for all of the super chats, man. But there it is, man. He's here for Elon's platform, Day Trader LA, or Day Trader Law. Thank you so much again for all the super chats. It does mean a lot to us, and we continue to work on our back studio there, and that's going to be bigger and better. And part of all that goes to this. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing here. All right, Fed talking now. Economy's in a good place. Labor market near full employment. Let's go over to Adira, I believe, Andre.
Yeah, I have some more context here. Just some of these Fed comments coming through. Fed's Muslim, he was supposed to speak at 9. I really only started getting comments coming through from him. Now he's saying that it's too soon to tell if tariffs are going to have a one-off impact on inflation or a more persistent impact. He also said, though, that high profit margins do give some room to absorb tariffs and that the effective tariff rate could end up here in the teens or 20s. I also looked here into CrowdStrike. There's no news on the cybersecurity sector. A lot of people on X seem to be attributing this drop to profit taking, and the volume on this is also not super significant. We're under 700,000 shares traded on the day. So notable volume, but below 1 million shares, nothing too crazy, guys. Back to you.
Right,
yeah, well, that's good news. Obviously, I'm happy that there's nothing bad going on in CrowdStrike, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't do that much volume normally either. The market just made a very, very nice bounce. Bitcoin just got to, remember, we were talking about 11,000, so it got to 11,000, which on IBIT was about 63.15. So we got the dip on the consolidation. It's like, let it tell you, and then the market was making lower highs. So the market was making lower lows, and this was starting to make lower highs. So jump into it. I don't know if we're going to get a test of the all-time high, which is all the way up at 63.8. We're going to have to go 1% up from here, but I'm going to ride the stairs to the upside as long as it holds. Remember, prior resistance turning into support is always a plan of action. So this is what we like. I'm going to go for the dip buy and all the way up into the 63.8 long, 63.8 top. I want to go. Hopefully we can get there, but the fact that this is strong relative to the market, I think it's the right place to be, everybody. And let's go. I just saw someone say BBAI is about to take off again. Probably. I know we're not looking at any small cappers, but we can look at this. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really see why it would be going up. There was no catalyst at all for this today. So if there was maybe news or something, it's trending down because the market's trending down at this point. But I'm not really seeing any kind of a turn here just yet, or no big buy or anything. It does have a big bottoming tail candle and some higher lows. So maybe there's that, but yeah, maybe not today. It just seems like it's on a profit-taking mode.
All right, what's up, Tia? I said, huh? Right here. I'm your El Guapo. Is that what you just said right there? I mean, I don't even. What is this? What is this?
El Guapo is from.
Yeah, I know, but es muy guapo right there. Oh, handsome. Oh, gee, thank you so much. Thank you, Andre, for that. I appreciate that. But no, yeah, thank you so much for that. Look, I just want to talk about, first of all, we just got out of some Nvidia as it came back upside right there for flat again. So we're, again, Nvidia up, profitable, there, boom. And then now we'll just wait to see. Obviously, that 162 does seem like a decent bottom there. So we'll figure it out where we're going on that one. So far. Yeah, I mean, as far as CrowdStrike is concerned, I think I actually do own more CrowdStrike now as a percentage of the portfolio than Palo Alto. I mean, I did not even, when we had that, Dara, what was the date? It must have been right into here, right? Or I think it was before this.
July
right?
19th, 2024.
Yeah, right there, yeah. So just July 19th right there. Thanks to Dara for that one. This is where I bought, actually, and I haven't done anything since that. So this is why it's just a natural progression of me owning more of this than Palo Alto. I probably own more as a base cost there for Palo Alto, but just to make this has moved up for CrowdStrike, it seems like that's been going really well and down today over 4%. Look, I really like the space. When we talk about the uncertainties in this world and what like the next terrorism and all that kind of stuff, like it has to be something to do with infrastructure and something to do with internet security and cybersecurity. So yeah, for me, I'd be pretty excited holding more CrowdStrike. So maybe on a dip down there, we'll swing it back into the TFSA and get going with that one. So we do want to thank everybody.
It feels like a risk-off kind of thing happening here today. Because
Maybe.
Yeah, when I looked over, it's like, okay, well, look at what Meta's doing and some of the bigger tech names. Look, we just had Nvidia at $4 trillion. At the same time, Bitcoin tagged an all-time high, and the markets are at all-time highs. And when I looked over, and Zscaler's down 4%, and Zscaler is the best in the. It's not I want to call it the best of breed, but it's the best this year in the cybersecurity space. And its pullback looks, I still say healthy when you look at a daily chart, but its pullback is rather large. Let's just put it that way when you look at this daily. But it's still it's going to be okay in the long run. Cybersecurity is going to be fine. The valuations are all very, very pricey when it comes to these names. So they just seem like they're all selling off. I don't think there's anything too much to it in here. And like I was just saying, I saw in the chat there, Sean Hodge in the chat saying Microsoft is down. Well, Microsoft is down 0.9 when the market's down 0.5. Like if I pull up, it was like Amazon. Actually, Amazon's bouncing a bit, but it's down the same, about a point. Meta, which has been trying to get back to its highs. I don't know why that didn't show up in the drop down. 1.5% Meta's down, so they're all looking relatively weak. The only things that are strong right now, like in my charts, the only thing above VWAP and trending is Tesla and IBIT. There's probably some related crypto names that are as well, though.
All right, new position. Whenever you hit that, you get a new position alert. So there it is right now, man. We're going back into Alex Karp & Co. Right here and see if we can find some damage right now in Palantir. So we're long 142, baby. Let's go. Let's see if we have that little base right there at 141.70. That is the new low of the day. So let's just put it in there. Again, it hasn't been traded. Bang! Yes, Neil. Let's go right now today, baby. Yeah, man, it's a good one. Needless to say, and those super chats will keep a smile on my face, but so will the performance of said trading here today, because we'll just have to wait. I mean, I don't know how far out Palantir is going to go. So let me get out some nether pieces right here at 30. We'll do that right now, and then what I was going to do is put in a stop order at 69er. We'll do that right now. 141.69. I don't know, man. Like I said, we just cashed out there, and pretty happy to do that. So we'll wait and see where we can get going now. But so far, so good here on PLTR. I don't want to celebrate it. Just happy that we were able to get back into it when I thought there was a chance for us to run. The futures are now making their move clearly here. So we'll wait to see if we can get some love back in on the futures. And that should help us with Palantir. I think this is a really great opportunity here to make a lot of money right now on PLTR. We'll see if we can get this one back to the upside right now. I was going to go over to Nvidia Nvidia again and maybe dip buy on that one. But I said, you know what, man, Alex Karp has been a good friend of mine for a very long time. So we'll go to Palantir. But there's Nvidia. We'll get another piece out here if it gets back into the 60s or 70s. And there it goes. Yes, sir, Neil. There it goes again, man. Another one happening for us. I know you're on Bitcoin over there, but that's what we're doing right now is Nvidia and Palantir. Two new positions for us. Let's just wait to see how high we can fly now on these two names. But yeah, let's just, you know, we'll just relax now. We've got these positions on. It is 10:17 in the morning, and we'll get you some more analyst action. Anything like that wants to happen. We did talk about Broadcom. Bye-bye, Palantir. I said this is the potential here to make something, so let's wait to see if it does go up. But we just stopped there. I'll get another piece out at 37s if we can there as Palantir. There it goes. Again, nice move up. All right, I'm out of half right now, and again, just because the market's been going down so much, if it doesn't continue to climb, we want to make sure that we do get out of Palantir because, again, remember, our stop is breaking through 70 on the low side. So that would be 30 cents worth of a hit. Right now we're in the money 50. So sounds like a good deal for me up in here. So far, so good. Wow, there goes Palantir again. Let's just take out another piece, man. I know it sucks to chase P&L, but it's also nice to have P&L, right? So there it goes, man. There goes Nvidia, another 20-cent winner. Boom. So far, so good. We're not at the highest spot we've been at because Tesla did fall down. Like we were obviously at our best spot when we were up there, and then we had to, you know, suffer a little bit to the downside. But Tesla, the trade of the day, I feel like P&L-wise followed by Palantir, but Nvidia could have something to say about all of this as well. And yeah, let's go Bitcoin is right. So let's go, man. Good trade over there for you, Mr. Roberts. I hope it has created some profitable experiences for you.
It's going for sure. But I'm telling you right now, I still like Nvidia. Obviously, I prefer Nvidia to AMD in every single way, in most senses. But today, AMD just bounced clean off the volume weighted average price and is trending up. So got to pivot. I'm pivoting to AMD. Like it's now trending to the upside on AMD, and I want to buy this trend. So the newest bid for me is at 143.5. I'm still sitting VWAP for more IBIT to try to get back in, and it doesn't care. It doesn't seem to want the volume weighted average price. So got to look to what's next. I'm zooming it out so you can see the pre-market resistance was at 63.25. So if we pull back in here, that's, I guess, where I'll go for the dip buy because it seems like we're on the chart. It didn't get any on VWAP, did not get any on that little pullback. It is AMD that I want to try to pick up here as the market's trying to bounce. So we'll see if we can get into AMD, but I'm adjusting where I want to add to IBIT down around the pre-market high. So that'll be like, think the 111 area if you're actually watching Bitcoin. In IBIT, it'll be anything in front of about 63.15, but I want to see a bit of a pullback for us to get back into it. And then what's crazy is, like I was saying, all the chip names are weak. Everything's under VWAP except for Tesla and crypto, and that was wrong. AMD is holding its strength. I thought it was too far. That's why we're trading Nvidia. Thankfully, we're able to not be down, but AMD was the right one. It wasn't Nvidia. Let's see if we can rectify that problem and go to Adara.
The IWM is actually having quite the nice little day to the upside, looking distinctly different, may I say, from the action that we saw off the open here on the Nasdaq. We actually pushed a little bit lower pre-market than off the open, get this push to the upside. Right now, we are above the pre-market highs and our highest level in the last few days. So great look here for the Russell 2000, hanging out around 224.25. We do have comments from Fed's Muslim going on today. We'll have some more Fed speakers later today, Fed's Waller and Fed's Daily at 1:15 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. respectively. Now, why this is relevant for the IWM potentially is that we know these small caps are very rate sensitive. Here is MP Materials. This one's been talked about a lot, but I think worth noting again here, because of the strength it's had pre-market, gapping up here after announcing it's entered into a public-private partnership here with the U.S. Department of Defense. This makes the Department of Defense a massive shareholder now, pretty massive stake here in MP. Then we have SPET. You probably know this ticker, SBET here. SharpLink Gaming, they announced recently that they're starting an Ethereum treasury strategy. I guess continuation here after Tuesday announcing they added to their Ethereum treasury, acquiring some more Ethereum. So SBET, solid continuation play with about an 8% short float. Last but not least, ABVE Above Foods. On Monday, they announced a merger agreement with Palm Global. Today, looks like a continuation to the upside. Great push for this one. 40 cents all the way to $1.25. Back to you.
Hey, you always like it when penny stocks turn into not penny stocks. That's generally a good sign. At least last time I checked, that's what most people are looking for. At least I would hope so. But I just wanted to, I was taking another look at, at AMD in here. And my first thought is, okay, I still like it, but I'm buying it on trend. I have to answer the question, do I want to reverse this trade? Or if we break down, do I want something else that's going to be in the short? And I remember what I said this morning about ARM. I don't know if I want AMD as the reversal. But I remember what I said about ARM that was unusually weak yesterday, and ARM's getting to VWAP. So if we break the lows and break this trend up on AMD, I'm going to slide over, and I have ARM up to try to look for this one to the south side. It's a relatively weak stock. I'd rather be short this if I had to. Excuse me. It's like, yeah, I'd rather be short this if I had to be short any kind of a chip name. And that was the only thing that I kind of felt was really, really weak yesterday. So if we can lose VWAP, I do like ARM shorts. I should just make sure here at Real Trading if we have some locates. And again, I think some of this had to do with it tanked yesterday, pretty much the exact moment that Apple turned around. Obviously, ARM is in every single piece of hardware because, I shouldn't say every, like 98-point-something% of smartphones use ARM's technology. So, Apple goes down. They go down as well. But I do think this one is the better one to look for the short trade in the event that AMD does not hold on to the trend, which it is currently, it's still on trend. I just want to have a contingency plan and look for something to the south side as the market is weak today.
Yeah, I was finally saying I was going to actually just talk about dollar strength and then VIX and everything like that, but we'll talk about that when we get back from our friends at Trade the Pool right here. We got another behind-the-scenes look at Trade the Pool, but this time we're diving into the community side of Trade the Pool. As you know, each trader gets his or her own hub. Inside one, you'll find Trade Talk, a powerful charting and analysis space where traders map out strategies, break down steps, and share predictions with the community. And if you're looking for real-time interaction, the Trade the Pool Discord is where you're going to go visit. It's full of active traders sharing insights, trades, and tips to grow together. At Trade the Pool, you're not trading alone. You're joining a firm that invests in your growth technically, mentally, financially. Head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on your screen. Stat. Yeah, thanks Trade the Pool for your continued support. And of course here, we did reload Palantir again and just been getting it out off of these levels. Let's see if it wants to work. But now that I look over here and we see what this dollar strength is doing, again right now, get it, Adara. Nice move to the upside right there, $97.80, $98 as it just continues to go higher here, the DXY. So that's part of the reason. There goes Palantir, by the way, aggressive move down there for PLTR. So we get stopped out where we get stopped out. Dollar move. Nice move there on that. We could also look at the VIX is probably getting a little elevated here today as the VIX has really been doing nothing for a minute. So let's go over and look at just a little bit longer of a time frame here for the VIX. And of course, this is the volatility index. Huge spikes there just over the last couple days. And then now, let's just say since July's happened, we're really just had that one spike up into 18. Now you're back down to 16. Generally speaking, 13, 14 or so on the VIX is a level where you could maybe start to expect to get some buyers stepping in of that, and then heightened volatility. So it's like complacency in the market right there as we continue to make all-time highs, but then you do get these sort of blowout levels there. So if you are looking at the VIX or anything like that, be careful. Right now we could have a little bit of a move down, but if you think that there's, again, problems with the US dollar, problems that could arise from Iran, Israel still, tariff issues, the VIX might be something to get involved with there. You can trade UVXY, or your platforms may give you a tool there to trade VIX. So yeah, Nvidia's down. Palantir just got hit pretty good there as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with your AMD, but we'll be flat on Nvidia for the day, which kind of sucks. We're holding this position. I don't know what's going to wind up happening. We only have 20% left out of this, but we haven't really taken any hits on this name. It's just that drip down there, we were able to reload it. So our average price wasn't exactly this. It looks like we have 2 for 2 here, but on Nvidia, we had to average into it. So that was a dangerous spot. But if I like Palantir, if I like Nvidia, that 162 is held now a couple times. So let's dance with the devil again here and try to buy this level one more time. So there it is. So we buy some 34s or 35s, and now let's give it to 162 break. That's where my stop is anyways. Let's see if that is is the key right now to unlock Nvidia. But Delta, again, flying, man. Their CEO now speaking. It must be the conference call.
Yes.
Right now, the earnings call, sorry.
Long call.
Yeah, so actually it's not ripping. I thought it was, but it's at the
It's at the high.
Yeah, so.
Up 13% when the market's doing this.
Yeah, you'll take it.
The Delta's having a damn good day.
Yeah.
Before I'm going to get to AMD, AMD's holding out a little bit here. But as you were talking about the dollar, it's not just the dollar. The 10 year's moving up too.
Right.
And we're still under 4.4. But part of what was so good about the last couple of days has been the drip down that we've been seeing in yields. I believe we have the 30-year at 1 o'clock today, so it'll be the longer dated auction. I don't know how much. The 10-year auction didn't move it yesterday. Gut tells me if the 10-year didn't move, I don't think the 30-year is going to move us too much. But you still want to pay attention at 1. Just know that you might have a market reaction if something extreme and it's not what was expected. So AMD is still, it's holding on. That's what I'll give it. It's bouncing off VWAP, but this is like a 40, 50 cent bounce when the stock is up 4% and it's a $140 stock. So it's holding VWAP, which is fine. But the way this market is going, I don't want to see us, if we break lows. Why am I not? Yeah, if we break lows, this is probably a ring the register if we break out 144.5, because I took 2 legs out here, not 1, in front of 144. Bitcoin, whoops. IBIT, I almost typed in literally Bitcoin, which wouldn't have called up anything. IBIT just came back. Look at what happened at VWAP. Nothing. No buyers, did not stop go, none of that nonsense. It's actually basing out where we bought it before at 62.95, which is randomly like 110.8. So now that it's making a little bit of a hold of that level, this is where I'm going to try to pick it up where we got it before. I thought I'd be buying higher lows, but the market is, it doesn't seem to want to be giving you the higher low dip buy, given how weak it is. So we'll try to pick something up in front of 62.95 where we got it before. AMD's holding up nicely. Bitcoin is back to where we started. That's why you had to take some profit out. And before we go and talk more about crypto, look, it's B Stacks in the chat. We try to cover as much as possible, but apologies. Apple has a buy program on it, or at least has buyers with it, and they're holding VWAP, and Apple is strong today. So you never really know. An apple a day keeps the shorts away, Randy said, and then 2 days after, it seemed like it only went down. Apple having a very nice day today relative to pretty much the rest of big cap tech, save a few names here and there. Now let's go to the desk. It should be our crypto update.
Indeed it is. And of course, what else to talk about here other than Bitcoin kissing that all-time high level, just kind of wicking right into it around that 112,000. This is a 30-minute chart. So as you can see, we get this push up, we get the rejection. Since then, we've been super consolidated. This 30-minute chart is really choppy, slightly rounded top. But the other way you could look at this here is it's a bit of a bull flag. We have this nice push into the upside for about an hour. Then we stall out. Let's see what the next direction here is. At the daily chart, of course, this looks still really, really spectacular. We had this rounded bottom for, I guess, a lot of earlier this year. Now we're trying to push to the upside. Higher lows as well. Now we're seeing again here on Bitcoin. I mentioned previously this hold above that 110,500 is going to be key. Right now we're holding above it. Let's see if that strength can continue. And let's also talk here about some other crypto names. Bitcoin here, about 2% to the upside on this Binance chart. Anyway, Ethereum up about 5% here and hanging on to that 2,700 level. So ETH here, no slouch. XRP up about 3%, Solana up about 2%, Doge and Cardano about 4 and 3% respectively. So some of these non-Bitcoin names seem to be outperforming Bitcoin a little bit today. Also, in case you missed it as well, Coinbase had a catalyst right before the open. We had CEO Brian Armstrong going on X and saying that they're actually entering into a partnership with AI partnership with Perplexity. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Adara. Yeah, crypto, again, 111 now, Neil on IBIT, so you can follow him for those trades right there. Yeah, just as Adara was mentioning right there, I wanted to check out, wow, let's go. Money. Yes, Ripple, XRP. I mean, I wasn't looking at it today. Glad we're looking at it now because I was talking about getting in there and buying, and it's my second largest holding now in the space, next to BTC, of course. So Bitcoin is like probably 10x my next biggest crypto holding. But we did sell out of some Ethereum at 25.5 to rotate into XRP and more BTC. So yeah, that might not, I don't know, percentage-wise, I don't even know if that's working out or not, but we'll just continue to champion that. Solana is not doing anything. I don't believe Cardano, well, actually, okay, we'll take Cardano at 62 cents. That's not too bad either. We'll see if that one can moon. And again, you know, Solana, a lot of these meme coins being built over on Solana rather than Ethereum, just a little cheaper gas fees, cheaper, I guess, technology overall to run those smart contracts. So that's Ethereum's bull case. We'll see if they can continue to work. We were able to get out of, again, more of Nvidia. This is what I'm doing. Every time it pops up, man, it's getting out. We got to take the 50-period moving average. This is going to be a long if it breaks 163. I don't think I'll be here when that happens. So sit tight on what's happening there, because in 20 minutes I'm gone again, and then we'll be back at 2 p.m. And I'll be putting my trades in the chat all midday. So I know there's been a lot of people asking where can you see my trades during the midday. I'll try to put them up on the chat as well. But yeah, with WK Kellogg today, WKL, is it? Is that what it is?
It's KLG.
Yeah, KLG, sorry. KLG there today.
An intuitive ticker.
Yeah, well, Kellogg. Yeah, it's pretty good. Right there, KLG. So yeah, there it goes. Neil mentioned it's done at $23 right now, but it's moving upside right now, KLG. So watch out for that name again. Giving a boost to some of the, you know, we had General Mills and all of that as well. Go to Adara? Yep, okay, let's go.
I have a new Truth Social post that I need to talk about. This came out about 4 minutes ago, and I'm just going to read it because it's actually very much about the market, and it does mention one pretty hot ticker in particular. Tech stocks, industrial stocks, and Nasdaq hit all-time record highs, exclamation point. Crypto, all caps, quote unquote, through the roof. Nvidia is up 47% since Trump tariffs, all caps. USA is taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. Country is now, quote unquote, back, all caps. A great credit. Fed should rapidly lower rate to reflect the strength. USA should be at the, quote, top of the list, unquote. No inflation, 3 exclamation points. So Trump, once again here, calling for a rate cut in a bit of a unique way, actually using Nvidia as one example of how the market has rebounded and actually maybe been stronger because of the tariffs. Back to you.
All right.
So apparently capitals are being used, which is what I gather from the all caps. Hey, some people have a style. You got to have it at the end of the day. Look, it looks like AMD, we just had, it was a trending, different trend line. I'll get rid of this one. We're trending back up, a nice V shape on AMD, all the way back into what is a real wick at the 145 high. So the second it went back underneath 144.6 on that trend, I jumped out. I said I was going to take profit in front of 145. So that just meant when it broke this high, I slap a trail on it. If we get back to VWAP, I'll jump back in. Don't mind it at all. The market's looking better than it was before. IBIT also, Bitcoin also regained VWAP, but maybe not running as far and as fast toward the high as you would like to see, but it's still going. Like to see it get back into 63.3, retake. Oh, sorry, it just retook 111,000, but like barely took 111,000. Well, I want to see it get back into that high, 63.25. That'll be closer to 111.3, 111.4, something along those lines. So yeah, I want to see more strength into Bitcoin here, and we'll look to buy. We'll just look to go to buy the dip again in AMD. That's holding on pretty nicely. The longer-term trend would be a dip back into 144 even, and maybe not even the volume-weighted average price. Strongest chip name out there, at least that I've seen. And Eddie is back looking at PHM. Thank you, Eddie, for another super chat there. We'll hit the like on that one. Appreciate the super chats. You can always just tag us as well if you wanna let us know. Just you just go like @ and I'd go Sean, and then Sean pops up, right? And then it's easier to see if I say hi. And then in Sean's thing, it'll be like lit up for his name, and it's just easier for us to see there. But so PHM, hey, I mean, you've got a good one. I'm not gonna pretend that you don't. What is great about this, the second you see a rounded bottom, you just know. I'm not a charter market technician, but you know what it's telling you. The stock has bottomed out and is making higher lows, which means sellers have lost control and buyers are in the control. And one of my favorite things in the long term is the 200-period moving average. So show me something that's gaining the 200-period moving average and making that rounded bottom, and I like the setup. That said, I don't know anything about it fundamentally. I can just, that's the issue, right? So I'm just basically looking at the technicals. And the other problem with it is you probably consolidate here. looking at that resistance at 120. I'm kind of thinking that usually you'd consolidate there, kind of like how you would have consolidated here before making that next step up. Doesn't seem like it's the biggest parabolic mover, but I can just in a quick second maybe look at, just very curious to see here, pulling it up, only 5% short float. Yeah, it's not a gigantic float, but it's only 5% short. I was kind of curious to see if it was maybe closer to double digits, and then you'd have a little bit more out of that one. I think you're just waiting to see it consolidate here off that 200 period moving average on PHM, but good luck.
All right, so a question for you. We have the SPY here. This is the 50 period moving average at 590. What percent, Neil, do you think of the S&P 500 names are above their 50 period moving average? I mean, the S&P 500 is well above it as an index.
On the daily?
Yeah, daily 50 period moving average.
Daily
what percent of the S&P 500 do you think is above the 50 period moving average?
It's probably going to be low, so let's call it I don't know, lower than you think. I think it's going to be lower than I think, is my guess. I'll go 322 because I like Will Clark.
So what percent is that?
Oh, sorry, that's like 64.4%.
Yeah, 73. Good guess. Yeah, 73%.
Yeah, but I was guessing lower than I thought, and then
guess.
picking a number that I liked.
That's an absolutely fantastic guess.
What about the?
Hold on. Yeah, well, go ahead. Yeah,
I was going to ask you about the Nasdaq.
I don't know the Nasdaq.
Just out of curiosity, because I like the Nasdaq more than the S&P right now.
I would say probably more on the Nasdaq or above it for sure. Yeah, good look there. Great guess. Okay, so right here, I'm getting some more out here at 59. We've had another big run there for Nvidia again off that 162. I'm waiting at 162 flat to buy some, but there it goes, man. We do not have a red name. Oh, I don't have, sorry, a red name right now on the board today. We have Nvidia, and again, it's just. And I know, like, I'm going to be talking more about news. We're going to be, going over some more stories like that as we come in and improve the show for you. But I still consider it a trading opportunity here. And so I'm just going to cover this quickly, and then we're going to go over why I'm back in Nvidia. We had a good, strong close yesterday as we pulled back from the $4 trillion level there yesterday. Nvidia right there, 163.25 long. Palantir and Tesla. So I'm only traded 3 names today. There's Tesla was the biggest, Nvidia and Palantir. Amazon 220 dip buy. Look, with Prime happening right now, we still can, I mean, my house never stops spending money at Amazon, so that's not gonna matter. But right there, 219.80, good level look there for AMZN. And again, on Prime Day, remember what Prime Day does. My wife was actually telling me yesterday that there's studies out there right now that prices aren't any better at all. On Prime Day. They're actually even, some of them are even worse than where these prices were a couple weeks ago, because on Amazon, it's not Amazon that sets the price, right? It's the, the suppliers. Some stuff ships from Amazon's warehouse, that's fine, but you set the price. So it's like if you want to get ahead of Amazon Prime, there's a chance that you might have put out a better price last week to get those kind of, ring them in. But when I say about Ring, they're the Ring platform. Some Amazon-based products, Fire Sticks, some of those TVs and stuff like that continue to be pretty hot fire for Amazon. So yeah, man, let me know in the deals there. I'm actually going to tweet it out. I think that'll be kind of fun. Let me know what Amazon, and we'll put it out on my Twitter. I'm going to put it out right now. What Amazon products have you purchased here on Prime Day? And let's see what you guys are doing, because I see people in the chat talking about that as well. So what are the deals you're looking for? Like I said, we got one of those battery chargers, but I don't think it was really an Amazon thing. So one of those bricks, so we got one of those again. So
someone got some headphones, I see in there.
Some headphones. So tweet it out. I'm going to tweet this out, and I'll put the link in the description.
Sunglasses, interesting.
What's up, Adara?
I'll tell you what's up. It's a lot of these sectors, actually. Health technology, finance, consumer services, producer manufacturing, consumer non-durables, energy and minerals, utilities, transportation, process industries, and consumer durables, here, all for the most part very green. But let's talk about what's not, because there's an interesting little trend that I do want to talk about. A lot of these bigger tech names with more expensive tickers, we're talking Netflix, ServiceNow, ACN, CrowdStrike, Another one, ANET, even Spotify, which isn't here. A lot of these are actually selling off today, and I'm seeing some of this attributed to profit taking because there's no negative catalyst on these. In fact, Netflix and Spotify both actually got price target increases this morning. So just be aware, there's a bit of a trend here of some of these names that have been really strong or pushing into all-time highs, getting pretty nasty pullbacks today. I'm not seeing any catalyst on these, though. Of course, if that changes, I'll let you know. There is also a distinct difference here between what we're seeing with technology services and electronic technology. Electronic technology here, I mean, we do have some weakness in Broadcom. Nvidia is pretty flat, but Apple and AMD are both really strong here. But then we have tech services. There's no strength to be seen in any of these major names. So the tech names are not necessarily trading in tandem with one another today. Back to you.
Thank you, Darren. Eddie's back once again with another super chat. Eddie,
what up, Eddie?
Mentioning FDA granted full approval to Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. That is true. That was from this morning. I believe actually came out basically when we came on air. I think it was right around 8:30 that note hit. It was a decent spike. Like, it kind of had a little bit of volume in there, and it's up a couple of points. It has been not moving a heck of a lot. You can see it's kind of going sideways off the volume-weighted average price. But Moderna is a stock that's like, maybe it's found its bottom because it's gotten so bad, and it's like it's run out of sellers, kind of like Intel has, and you're getting a little bit of juice to it. So I'm digging it. And we were talking about this with Merck the other day. Like, Merck makes a gigantic cash deal. Usually the acquirer goes down, but it's like, I guess they sold it so much that it bounced that day, and they bought it up on a big cash deal with VRNA. So Moderna, yep, it's a positive catalyst. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think that's that big of a catalyst. COVID's not that big of a deal anymore. Moderna needs to be doing some other things with their technology, in my opinion. That being said, what we're talking about here is the short float, the fact that it's bottoming out more than anything else. I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, this is the kind of news that's going to drive a heck of a lot of growth for them. That wouldn't be my take, but it is my take that a good short float and a basing pattern looks pretty solid for Moderna.
Yeah, buddy, good take, buddy. Right here, look at what we just did on there on AMD again, Nvidia just came in. We get some outs. We buy some 30s there, get out some 40s. I'm just scalping it, man. I don't know. As we only have 15 more minutes left until the big show on the midday hits. But right here, I just posted this up. Go find me right now, and let's talk about this. Put it in the chat right here. You guys let me know what you're buying right there. So Faith-Based Trade says, yeah, buddy, extra virgin Sicilian olive oil. So we like, yes, right there, and put some Italian flag. So a good little look there for you as well. Laguna Eye Capital, yeah, exactly. Doesn't see anything too big there. Same as normal, what you're saying there. Then the bat right here says ring camera. So that's good, man. That's exactly what we're doing. So good job there on this so far. Let me know if there's anything else. I mean, it doesn't look like you guys are too excited to post anything. Got some water earlier, so let's say a big shout out again to everybody. I know, Neil, we're all members of Hydration Nation. All right.
It's like when you cheers, it's bad luck not to drink.
Yeah, but someone said it's bad luck to cheers water. Well, that was Obi.
No, I'm just saying, if you cheers something you're supposed to drink.
Yeah.
If you put the Hydration Nation, it's a good reminder to drink some water. What was that? That was a cool thing you just did with the screen there just now. I don't know if you caught that. Well, I thought it was cool. Like, shifted around.
What did he do? Do it again, Andre, man.
No,
it shifted, he says my mistake, but Neil likes it.
He shifted those from one side to the other.
There we go.
It's like,
there
boom.
we go. There we go.
Let's go.
I like that. I like that.
What was bad about
the technology?
Andre, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Keep it fresh. But as we're trying to keep it fresh, the market's trying to go, and it really wants it. The Nasdaq, we got a nice bid here. What you did see, and I'm going to get to the 10-year in a quick little second. So we got the higher low. We couldn't break overnight support. So support turning into some resistance here for the overall market. If I pulled up the SPY, it would be about the same thing. So I'm just really looking at the Nasdaq. It doesn't really matter what my ES charts. That is not updating. But there is a bit of a move pulling back in on the 10-year. Not much. It's a 15-minute chart. You can do that. Not that I want notifications, but a little bit of a pullback, but not a hefty one. So if this resumes the upward trend, we could have it would confirm that maybe more downside. I'm still feeling kind of bullish right now on this little bit of a bounce that we're having. I want to buy some dips in AMD, which is the stock that I had up just there. a second ago, looking for this one to get back into 140. And I said 144, but now the trend line's up at 144. Excuse me. There's a lot of dust around here. Thank you, Studio 8. We're doing big and better things, but sometimes I'm sneezing like out of my mind. Look, the volume-weighted average price is a nice line on the chart, but it's got a good-looking trend line, which we bought. It happened to be VWAP, but one low, second low, holds, and then go long. That worked. So if it bounces off this trend the way it did here, then I go long in front of 144.5. If it doesn't, then I wait for the volume-weighted average price on AMD. Super strong stock. It's not going to 200, which is the price upgrade that it got today. Well, it's not doing that today, certainly, but it can at least get back to the highs so long as we can stay on the trend. I'll give it some time to close, but right now it's closing under the trend line, so I don't want to jump in just now.
Yeah, we had, I mean, the big trade today, Tesla, for sure, right? I mean, that really got going early. I think that that's the strategy, right, is to play these names when they're actually starting to do something. And right now, it's kind of just bouncing around a little bit. So Tesla today gets the story of the robo-taxis being rolled out there in San Fran instead of just Austin. I think that's going to be an important story to talk about as we move forward here with more talk on Elon and so on and so forth. And then I do think that we've already been up and down that road now of talking all like high schoolish about like, you know, this and that. I'm releasing the Epstein files. No, I'm not. Yes, they exist. No, they don't. Like all these things. So I could go on and on about that and what's involved there. But yeah, right now plan to expand a robo-taxi service to San Francisco Bay Area. I think that's awesome. I think that's very, very important. And then also, I'm excited because I mean I own just a Model 3, but you know, if Grok is going to be installed into there, I mean I think that's great. Already the text to speech, in my opinion, it works perfectly already for me. I just say, you know, text my wife, boom, text going to wife. Like there's nothing else. You can tell your Tesla to turn the air conditioner up or down. You can tell it to turn the fan this way or that. You can tell it to open your glove box for you, you know, and I don't even have like a fancy model. So yeah, there's lots of cool things already built into the Tesla ecosystem, right? It literally answers, put it to this radio station. Most of you guys are already, you know, either you know this is not rocket science, but I'm just talking about kind of how cool it is and how I think that Grok, you know, installed in that would be pretty awesome. It's like, you know, when I was rolling around, you know, in past cars, either Mercedes, but it was an older one before, or the Volkswagen or whatever. We have the Atlas, things like that. You know, it plays with Apple Play and things like that. You know, the messaging system, so on and so forth, is pretty good through that. But I'm excited to see what winds up happening with Grok. And I couldn't be, and again, I'm no Tesla fanboy, but you know, after driving the car, honestly, I'm very, very impressed with the way that is. Yeah, man, it's very impressive, Joe, honestly. Once I sat in there, I'm like, I can't believe this go-kart is actually something that I'm allowed to drive. So like right now, I told Marissa, like I don't even have a speeding ticket my whole life. What? But yeah, exactly. And I drive every single day to work. Like it's ridiculous. I know it's crazy. But well, actually, you know what? That's not true. I went to renew my license last year, and nothing got emailed to me, but I did. There was a speeding ticket, so I did get caught, I guess, on one of the cameras. But I just paid it. I tried to log into.
You know, there's petitions now all over some of the cities because they've been ramping up these cameras in a lot of Ontario regions. Yeah. So like, there's a lot of people complaining about it because I think it's like it's kind of a bit of a cash grab right now. Oh yeah. The government's are strapped for cash. So
the one by High Park got taken down for the 7th straight time.
Yeah,
there yesterday. So yeah, they put it up and it got chopped down. They took down, I think it was either $7 or $70 million in speeding tickets in that one location on Parkside, which is near where I live. And last night it was one of the very first stories there that.
And there's a cop camera survey.
I know, and it was just put up, and they showed the area where the guy was dragging it, and it's just like, it's just become a thing, but the government makes so much money, like I was just saying, they're just going to keep putting them up.
Yeah, if they're making that much money, there's no purpose taking it down because it's they'll just endlessly replace it. But when it'll be down for
Yeah,
like
but
a
it's
few
fun.
hours.
I guess it's fun for some people.
It's also a form of protest, I guess. Maybe? I don't know.
We are right now, man. Although we only have 8 minutes left, there goes Tesla again. Or sorry, there goes Nvidia. I should probably, now that I'm talking nice about Tesla, what's going on with Tesla? All right, so it's nothing. It's Nvidia right now trying to go back up to the upside. I think this is going to be a monster. I'm not even going to offer anymore. I was offering 70s. I'm going to pull that. I think if this market goes, which it's trying to do, Nvidia's home is somewhere up here, 163.50, 164. So let's put something out at VWAP right now, 163.20. We'll see if we can get $1 on that. And then we'll go a little bit higher after that. Oh, Jamie Dimon right now. What a surprise, this guy. This guy, like, I love this guy. I mean, I'm in the stock. It's a huge position for me in the swing account, and it's been great off of 230. But now he's saying that there's a lot of complacency in this market. Yeah, I guess so, right? I mean, where this Nasdaq's going. But Jamie, I got to ask you a question. Like, what happened to that storm that was coming at some point that was supposed to wipe everybody out? Sure, we had those tariff warnings, and maybe that was it. But I don't know. Right now, we just wait and hold tight for you, Mr. Dimon, and we will wait to see what happens on your report come next Tuesday. This guy is long the banks. So let's see what winds up happening. Bye-bye, Nvidia there. We go 3 for 3 today. Just another day in the seat. I'm not here for 7 straight days starting on Monday. So you guys are going to get a very exciting show with Neil and Obi for those 7 days. We're really excited for that. Obi always puts up. So thank you so much for Obi for that one. We do have the midday show getting ready to rock it as well with Sharif and Big Joe over there. So yeah, lots of good stuff happening here. We're really proud of all the work everybody's doing. Let's go throw it over to Adara, possibly talk a little bit about the US dollar.
Maybe tariffs?
Maybe tariffs.
We're definitely going to talk about the U.S. dollar, but I also want to mention quickly Mobileye. We did have some comments here coming from, I guess, apparently the Intel sale of these Mobileye shares, which, of course, that was first announced on Tuesday, apparently was well oversubscribed, and so it saw a lot of strong demand. So, again, Intel's Mobileye share sale apparently going pretty well. Here's the U.S. dollar, which is honestly, I mean, yes, very much in a downtrend from the start of the year, but in the last little while, we're trying to break out here of that 97 area. We're actually right now coming into pretty significant support resistance. This is a double bottom, more or less, that we broke below here around 97.7. Right now, we're actually slightly above it. So let's see if that strength can continue. Now, I want to talk about rates, but I want to talk about them from a different perspective. Here is a post from U.S. President Donald Trump on Truth Social. I did previously read an earlier one of his posts from a couple of minutes before this one, where he talked about how Nvidia is up significantly since the tariffs were announced. But this one is once again about Fed Chair Jerome Powell, or as Trump calls him, too late. And let's get into it. Too late. All caps demeans the great credit of the USA. We are now, again, the #1 credit in the world. Gigantic comeback. The Fed should be reflective of this. We should be at the top of the list. 3 exclamation points, all caps, lower the rate, 3 exclamation points. So Trump here, once again, making some comments about Powell, really wants that rate to be lowered. But as we've seen time and time again, the CME FedWatch tool is not pricing that in until September. Back to you.
Exactly. I think we could get it. I think we could get a cut. You know, you'll hear it here, but I don't. I would say it's better than 95%, but. Like the cut's better. Like I think it could be like maybe 75% chance of no cut, so 25% chance that there is one. I don't know. The labor market still remains strong. We got those numbers today that was lower. The job openings. So yeah,
just the labor market keeps chugging along.
What was this morning again?
And that's what they're looking at labor.
Rate? No.
Obviously, and we keep hearing from every single Fed member comes out and they're like, yeah, wait and see on tariffs. The tariff effects are going to come in, and they keep waiting for that to get reflected in some of the inflation numbers. And like the more that doesn't happen, I mean, come on, like. But as long as they keep saying that they're waiting for the effects to come in, then the pricing is going to stay as it is. But at some point, push has to come to shove. And if inflation isn't going up, like, you know what, or get off the pot. Oh goodness, as this is happening, yeah, it looks like AMD just broke that trend line, unfortunately. So. It has been trending up. The market was in the midst of a nice rebound, but that's probably the heaviest down candle that it's had all morning. Maybe we get back into the volume weighted average price there. IBIT, Bitcoin, that's still holding off, but the same top. I think last time I didn't get out when it did this, and if it double tops in here, I'll jump out and wait for VWAP again. So if it does the same thing that it did before, oops, I have to actually do that. If it does the same thing that it did before here and breaks the trend, I'm going to jump out and wait for actually not even VWAP. It's holding right around 63, so that's the level, and that's under the volume weighted average price. So I want to be buying it off the 63 area and maybe even just like a couple of ticks underneath and continue to go with the trend. Bitcoin looking strong, but still off the all-time highs that we saw yesterday. And don't at me if you're looking at an exchange that said it didn't make to the all-time high. Effectively, it did, and that's all that really matters. It is looking strong, but the market not looking as strong as it was about 15 minutes ago when we caught that nice little bounce.
I don't know what we got a super chat there. Is this in regards to me? I don't know what this means. Chill, guys. I'm just asking. Bro is our lifeline. I don't know what that means, Kelvin. So we'll figure it out. You know what? Yeah, I've kind of not having as much coffee. I don't know. Let me know, Kelvington, what this Kelving TS. Yeah, that's it. Kelving TS. What's up, Kelving TS? Shout out to you there as well, but I'm not even really sure. Oh, he is talking about me. Oh, that's pretty sweet of you to do that, but you know, you're going to be in decent shape over here. And thank you, Alfredo and everybody, man. I mean, I got to... I do got to take some breaks, right? But yeah, the trading won't stop. Like we said there today, I mean, Neil's traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names. So, you know, we're very, very close to the same. I mean, you can tell everybody what you've traded. I don't know. But there's going to be lots of ideas coming through, right? I mean, Obi has his own style as well. Sharif did ask, by the way, so thank you, Go Bills, if what we needed for a coffee. So thank you so much for Sharif for asking for that. And we want to thank Eddie again. We had over $500 in super chats. US dollars right there. So thank you so much, Eddie, for that. But Randy, you always are talking about briskets and this and that. This Tesla trade today, absolutely huge, man. We broke through. We had that robo-taxi news there today, plus Grok going to be in Teslas. So that's going to be exciting going through. And there goes Tesla right now, breaking higher. We'll see, man. There was that 304 level. This is what we liked, Randy. You know, I'm a very, very simple man as far as trading is concerned and in general in life, obviously. But, you know, 304, that looked juicy to me. We hit it. We nailed it. And the rest is history. It is like 200x the next best stock. Yeah. Or the super chats are buying. Yeah. So, so far, so good there today. Thank you, everybody, for continuously supporting it. We go 3 for 3, man. We go Palantir here today. Big off the open again. It was just the open trade there on Palantir as it was written again, right? I mean, right into here, and we got to go. We only have 10 more seconds and I'm out of here, and then we'll pass it over to these guys. But, you know, if you guys are looking for something, the sticky note will not be written on vacation, unfortunately, as many people have asked. Nothing I can do. Neil has his notes. You're more than welcome to go. I know it's needed, my guy, but Joe, man, I can't, you know, there's only so much around here. There's Palantir, there's the break, there's the Nvidia, and there's the Tesla. So that's the 3 for 3 right there on the note. We want to thank you to everybody for that. And then let me just have a quick little check in here. Go over to my page and tell me what you're buying here on Amazon. Oh, what's up, man? You went to the Ozzy Osbourne concert. Shout out to you, Gil, man, right there. We're going, the wife and I, again, spending money on experiences, going to Oasis coming in, only doing, I think, 6 shows in North America. We got tickets for that. Those tickets are going buck wild, Taylor Swift style right now on the aftermarket. Amazon, always buying stuff there, so shout out to that. Apple AirTags, yes, sir, that's a good one. My dog has an Apple AirTag. My dog has one of these, and we put them sometimes if the kids are going around. They carry their phones around, so that's like an AirTag in itself. Yeah, tickets to Pound Town. We like that one for sure. Nothing. Being Canadian, I do not buy American. So shout out to you, Jose Nunez. You are missing out, my friend. I got to buy, you know what I got to buy? Some deodorant. Old Spice right there. I ran out. Well, I was at the gym yesterday, and I was like, I'm running out over here, so.
Always Amazon.
Yeah, it's good. We're fresh today. It's all good on that one. But yeah, we go to Amazon for all of that. Yeah. All right, Neil, wrap it up with kindness, man. We got to go.
No. I got to get to a super chat because it's the second time. No, we can't do it.
Yeah, we got to go.
Venu was asked for the second time. Venu was asked and put a super chat in here. So we're getting to our fans. I don't know how we missed it, but we will talk about VRT. Apologies for not getting to it the first time through. So there was a headline with VRT. There's a reason why it's down 10%, and you see a candle like this. Amazon essentially saying they are going to be using its own denser, more powerful chips for designing, yada, yada, completely custom liquid cooling system in data centers. So if Amazon's going to do it on its own and you were relying on them, that's going to be bad for the stock, obviously. But if you're wondering why the stock is getting cratered today, that is it. Apologies for not getting to it.
Yeah, no problem. So there's the response there, the yada, 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 yada. What for lunch right now? Okay, we got actually a special one today on what is for lunch. So thank you, Joe, for reminding us. Today, this ain't my Nona, I'll promise you that, but it says right here, Nona's meatballs with spicy homemade marinara sauce. That's nice. With a little bit of penne there as well, with roasted asparagus and Caesar salad. That is what is for lunch. All right, man, I'm out of here. It's been a great day. Thank you to everybody. Let's throw it to the midday. Let's go. I'm off to the gym.
Go get them, boys.